We mix it all with these, baby, come and feel the beat. Ooh, we are BTM reviews, baby. Nobody does it like us. Hey, you know I want to fight with honey. Blend it all in harmony, yeah. Yeah, yeah. For the bourbon, top the toys tonight. Rip this mambo, but we're feeling right. Media spins, but stand our ground. Craft enjoy with every beat and sound. Dive in, the mix will set you free. Here at BTM Reviews, join the symphony. Ooh, we are BTM Reviews, baby. Yeah, yeah. Nobody does it like us. Hey, you know I want you to vibe with honey. Blend it all in harmony, yeah. Stand tall, raise a glass, let's get by. Together we'll make the spirits high. Leave the naysayers in the dust, child. Join the rhythm, sing and get wild. Ooh, we are BTM Reviews, baby. Nobody does it like us. Hey, you know we're watching blue sky, vibe with honey. Blend it all in harmony, yeah.
Hey guys, this is Dave with BTM Reviews on this Thursday night. I'm off the road back home in my humble abode with the wife and grandkid hanging out. Got home around 5 o'clock tonight, so not terribly late. Tonight we're going to talk about, I don't know exactly what we're going to talk about. I think there's a Twitter thread that we're going to go through that Jim found. We got Julio here. How you doing, Julio?
How's it going? Ooh, surprise. I'm up first. How's it
Well,
going, Dave?
Jim's off screen and muted, so he might be taking care of something.
Gotcha.
How was your day, buddy?
It was just a day.
Just
Work.
another one?
Yeah, I'm excited. 3-day weekend coming up, so I'm excited about that. Get MLK Day off on Monday.
Oh, you honor that in your state, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a company-wide.
It's a
I'll
company
take it.
thing. Yeah.
They could name a holiday after anybody. I don't give a shit if I get the day off.
We don't have enough holidays.
Right.
They keep taking them away and, giving new ones out. And it's like, just keep them all. We work too much as a society. God damn. I mean, America.
Do you get the day off? I didn't think
No.
so. Rhetorical question.
It's sales. I mean, do I have any appointments scheduled for Monday? No, I do not. Because I deal with a lot of municipalities and they are off. Municipalities will honor that holiday. But fuck, it's going to be like -6 next week with 30-mile-an-hour winds. So I'm not looking to go out too much next week anyway.
No,
Not Monday and Tuesday for sure. So yeah. We got Jim back on screen. How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right.
Yeah?
Yeah, you decide for some reason not to only play one song tonight?
It's Theory Thursday.
I like
I
it.
almost forgot to play Theory Thursday. I started playing that first song. I was like, oh shit, it's Theory Thursday. I don't go through all the other songs on Theory Thursday.
Man. I went to the bathroom. I'm like, and all of a sudden I hear Julio talking. I go, what the fuck?
That's what happened to me. Usually when the songs start, I take my earbuds out and go take care of business, whatever.
Yeah, so I was like, I got about 15 minutes to go get everything ready
Right.
for the stream. So get my
gonna
drinks
say-
ready and everything. And I'm like,
It's
When
okay.
that first song hit, my eardrums almost exploded.
Why?
Because
Oh,
it's
just out
loud.
of nowhere?
But-
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps. I had to take
Is
them
the
out
was the volume high on it?
a little bit to me, but whatever. It might just be me.
that was a little loud.
Thanks, Jim. Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
I didn't
Yeah,
change
a
any.
little bit.
I didn't change any settings.
No, disrespect them a little bit.
It's always loud, Dave.
Oh, good. Well, we want to wake up the kids. What a week so far, man. We've had Drex on Monday night.
Crazy cat.
Right? We had Ethan on last night.
You know,
Well, good for me, Crazy Cat.
Hey,
Yeah,
they're
that's-
both they're like cousins from Arkansas. They gotta get along.
It has been an
Guess what?
event.
Crazy cat,
Had-
Ethan Ralph. Is
I
a
don't
friend
know
of mine.
Ethan Ralph. Like I told him last night, I've seen one video of Ethan Ralph, and I've watched his show a couple times, but I don't know him. So whatever.
Yeah, Drex on the other night. Ethan, Vito,
Yeah,
Jim. You
Vito.
like E-Rock over there with everybody in your
Well,
cell
you
phones.
know, I know a couple people.
I
Couple
know
two, three.
people. I know
Couple
some
two,
people.
three.
And then they know people. And then
I'm working
Some
on some big guests.
are you?
Can't make any. Can't say anything yet because I had to sign a couple NDAs.
Oh,
Mm.
yeah. Oh boy. Well, I haven't seen Kevin in the chat yet, so nobody's looking for. Hey, what's up, Tevin? Tevin, the lore seeker. Wow, Milo showing up on BTM. I don't think so. I don't think so.
I would stay on for that one. I would stream with Milo. I got questions.
Yeah,
Working
well,
on
I don't.
the sister to the guy who cuts Arnold Schwarzenegger's grass's brother, his cousin.
What?
That's
What?
don't say any names. You got to tease it. Tease that for a little bit.
I'm like, what? Okay. So
but it's actually her neighbor.
Is this like one of these illegitimate kids people?
Could be.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
You have to tune in to find out.
Gotcha.
No, Cynic isn't coming on. He's all mad because we wouldn't let him on last night.
Oh,
said
was
he's
he
never
trying to
coming-
get in?
He said he's never coming on again.
Nicholas is going to be crushed with the news.
He's probably on Jesker's channel talking about Nintendo or something.
Nick ducked out right before you guys got Ethan on. I thought
He
it was
was
going to
never
be.
on.
No, I mean he was in the chat. He's
Oh,
like,
was he?
Yeah, and he ducked out, and then about 5 minutes later, Ethan came on, and I'm like, we could have had a meeting of the minds here, like
Oh, yeah. That would have been great.
redneck feedback.
Well, I don't know if Cynic will let him talk.
Well, you could have chilled out while they went at it.
Hell, I didn't have to talk for 30 minutes. Ethan was on a roll. he once he got started, he was on a roll, wasn't he, Jim? See, Jim listens.
What?
Classic Jim. Gotta love it, kids.
I gotta love it, man. He's looking at. Got
I was looking
headphones.
at something. It's like,
You can't hear when you read.
what?
Yeah, you're one of those people. You can't hear when you read.
I can hear just fine when I read. I was just, my mind was blown by what I was reading. All these people are out here like kumbaya with Sturgis.
Well, what's up with Sturgis? I don't know what the deal is.
Oh, okay.
Share with the class.
All right.
I don't pay attention to Sturgis. He's not. I don't care.
Well,
I know you sent it on via DM in the little group. I looked at it and I'm like, yeah, he makes
all right,
sense.
Sturgis tweeted this out, because he's like upset at Melanie Mack because Melanie Mack was making comments about what I don't know what Camelot stream you're talking about, Chris. I don't know. About Gooners and this and that, Gooner games and stuff, and it's Sturgis took offense with that, because he's a Gooner, so he doesn't like being called a Gooner. So,
Right. So what is this?
Well, so he just, and then, I tweeted out the whole popcorn thing. It's like, oh, this is great.
He's calling Melanie Mack out for being a hypocrite because Melanie Mack is angry at the quote Gooner community for staring at tits in a video game, but then she loves Lara Croft,
And
who was all about tits in a video game.
I mean, but Lara Croft had short shorts on and a shirt. She never had her like tits hanging out.
But they were nice tits.
They were nice tits. So what? Until she
What?
chopped them off.
Well, they did it for her in the last game. It wasn't the same character
And
model.
so then you have this, Black Angus reviews. Me and Sturgis laughing at grifting whores. Like it's like everybody's like gonna be like, it's Sturgis now over. They say politics makes strange bedfellows.
Yeah.
I'm not stimping and sweeping for Melanie Mack. I'm just saying that like it's going to be interesting to see what kind of. This is almost like what happened. This.
See, now this is a
This
good
tweet
Theory
by-
Thursday topic.
This tweet
What's
by
gonna
Sturgis is
happen?
exactly like the whole H-1B visa tweet that Elon Musk did and Vivek did like a week or so ago to cause a bunch of shit. Like
Mhm.
this tweet by Sturgis is going to cause a bunch of shit with the people whose dick he likes to suck. Because like these people, you know what I mean?
They get along with Melanie.
They're connected. You
Yeah.
got Geeks and Gamers is connected with Melanie Mack.
Well, they're all going to sip hard for her, right? I mean, that's what's
I
going
don't know. That's what I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting to
I mean,
see what happens. Maybe Sturgis is just going to get told to knock it off. Like Eric might not pat him on his head this week and tell him, good job, the Clown Zero.
Well, I'm not usually one to back up what Sturgis says, but what he wrote, I don't know.
You don't have a
I'm
problem.
not
with it.
saying he's wrong.
Not
I'm just
really.
saying that sometimes
Yeah.
you don't have to weigh in on everything that's said.
Mhm.
Like you can be like, yeah, that was fucked up. I don't agree with it. Especially when it's going to cause a problem for, you know, this guy spends all day sucking fucking Rick Rivers' dick, so now he's going to cause a problem because, you know, Az is a big gooner for fucking Melanie Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she's a guest on the Fellowship. You know, she's on Geeks and Gamers, all that stuff. So,
You know, I mean, Melanie Mac was at that Rippaverse event that Riley got arrested at, signing things for, you know, she was a special guest at Eric's.
was she?
Yeah. Remember, we saw the picture. We're like, holy fuck, with no makeup
That's
on, no
right.
filters. It was like, whoa. I'm
Has
just
she
saying,
done it?
you know, like,
Has she done a
Saying-
comic? Is she in that
oh.
that racket too? Has she done a comic, Melanie Mac?
Yeah, well, a quarter pounder's right now busy attacking Elon Musk over Asmongold shit, which, you know what? I don't know enough about it to comment on it.
Asmongold and Elon Musk were DMing each other about
Those DMs were not between Elon Musk and Asmongold. Those were between Asmongold and Asmongold's boss.
oh, all
So
right.
who knows who leaked them up? I mean, I saw the tweet. The DM. It's like Elon Musk is not part of that DM. So either they're trying to imply that Elon Musk went into the Twitter system into other people's DMs and got those out, which might be against the law. You know, he might have. If he did, he might have broke a law.
I know Asmongold put a video out today that I watched half of, and it seemed like it was an Asmongold and Elon Musk exchange, and then Asmongold got his check mark taken away and then put back, and it was all kind of business.
He got his check mark taken away.
A lot of people get their if some like there was a bunch of people who had check marks that didn't pay for them.
Yeah.
And so they've been taking a bunch of people's check marks away of the people who didn't pay for them. Well, it could just be that. I don't know. I mean, people have been bitching about it for weeks now. But they took my check mark away. They took my check mark away. All these different people. It's like, okay.
No, it's a feed now. There's no.
It's $3 a month or whatever it is.
I think it's $5, right, Jim? $3 or $5 a month.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Different.
I don't pay
Isn't
for
there
mine.
different levels? What do you say? You don't pay for yours?
No.
What? So you don't have a check mark?
I have a check mark.
So why don't you pay for yours?
Mine was grandfathered in because, you know.
Aren't check marks
Oh, you're
supposed to
that
mean
cool?
that
Yeah.
this is actually the person you think it is?
It's supposed
Right?
to be, yeah. But they
It
don't
does
really.
take a
Because now they
while.
have now fucking parody accounts and fucking fake names and avatar. You know, weird avatars with weird names have check marks. So it's like, what the fuck?
It's all for the money, man.
I mean, yeah, Charles, I would.
I don't know. Is it an act?
Oh,
She eats butter.
But should I be upset by it? Should I be pouting if a big guest comes on the show?
I'll be right back.
You know, I agree, Crazy Cat. I think she is a grifter. I think a lot of those people are grifters.
I don't mind grifters if they're entertaining.
That's an awesome parody account, Fatty. I would follow that account. Oh shit! What am I doing?
I know we're doing Jim's Twitter. What's on the
Like-
feed? What's hot on the street?
Yeah,
Ember, did Ethan Ruff go into rehab today? Is that what?
yeah, he went into
today?
rehab. So this,
Oh,
yeah.
I guess we were his final appearance before he went to rehab, huh?
Contribute. So sit there with a big grin. When are we talking about tonight or yesterday? Crazy Cat, because I chimed in whenever I could, but there was 4 people trying to talk, so it was.
Oh yeah. When I tried to talk, Ethan was like, "Hey man, don't interrupt." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, let you finish your story."
Yeah.
Rehab is for quitters. So this man dressed as a woman they're championing her as a congresswoman, Sarah McBride. I mean, don't they understand that these things mean stuff?
No,
I
they
s-
mean nothing.
I saw they had a vote on women in men's sports today that passed.
Yeah, but only if only a couple Democrats voted for it. So
I think it was 3.
yeah,
What was the
That was
vote?
enough to get it. You can't get 7-foot-tall men playing women's volleyball in Santa Clara, basically, is what the vote was. Got to keep men out of women's sports.
But not women out of men's sports.
that
Well-
isn't a problem. There's no
Yeah, I
women
mean-
that want to play in men's sports. They don't want to get fucking hurt.
That one girl volleyball player got concussed.
Yeah.
That dude, because the women's nets are lower than the men's volleyball nets, and this dude, I mean, it was supposed to be a girl, but he just came up and spiked it in the girl's face. She had permanent hearing loss.
Nice.
The poor girl. That's a lawsuit.
It's not her
If I was
fault.
litigious.
Yeah,
No.
it's not her. Yeah, it's not her
No.
fault that the fucking league lets that shit happen. They should be sued. All these assholes should be put in jail for letting this stuff happen.
All right, Jim, what's the woo-woo for today? We have a teaser for what we're going to be woo-wooing.
Sure.
Well, after the solar flare.
Yeah,
Of course.
probably.
This is the teaser.
No, I got you. Oh. Ooh, all right.
AOC likes predators, allegedly.
Where can I sign up? If it's AOC.
Charles says, if you're going to be a grifter, at least be a begging grifter like Darkside Phil.
All right.
Oh, yeah, he's the one that always begging for money to pay his bills and shit, right? Got to pay the
Yeah, he's
electric
like-
bill.
Yeah, like Aaron. Them
Mhm.
whole same thing. You got to rally.
Oh, yeah. If you want another 30 minutes of me.
Ooh, woo.
There's no
PayPal,
sound. There's no
Streamlabs,
sound.
Zillow. What? Oh, you
There-
muted it.
I
The
didn't mute
northern
it.
incoming
You muted
sunspots
it.
do have a bit more breadth than expected.
You
missed
muted,
it all.
You muted it earlier when we were off, before we were live,
Oh, yeah.
and I never re-engaged it.
Oh, you never put up a new screen.
Should have let it play all the way through.
Good morning, folks. Today we're discussing weather, a
I'm not-
cold
you know,
blast, and a
like,
storm.
that's
Then
like-
we're off to solar flare prediction, solar forcing of precipitation, and evidence of a major solar blast in the past. But we're starting, as always, with the
Blast
last
in the
24
past!
hours on our star, and we find it was another calm day, but potential is building. Still haven't had much in the way of solar flares or eruptive activity. Coronal hole stream is drawn out and only of modest speed. We have been in a quiet period on the sun for several days, and that even includes the plasma filaments. Several small ropes on the disk have found considerable stability and are firmly locked in their coronal homes for the moment. But what has our attention this morning is a significantly developing sunspot situation. The northern incoming sunspots do have a bit more breadth than expected and are in development. The southern incoming spot is developing rather quickly, and a new and fast spreading spot just emerged past central longitudes. This means flares could be about to return. Off next to weather, where a major cold front is sliding towards the United States. Over the next week, the cold spell, driven by a polar vortex split, forcing polar Arctic air to mid-latitudes, is going to break cold records across the country. Eyes open, folks. Also, here is the full run of Dekelity, the cyclone that hit Madagascar and then slid between it and Africa. It is heading into southern waters now. First article today hits an interesting pre-flare pattern. Scientists have noticed a thermal runaway event that occurs before big solar flares by a few hours. They're hopeful they can write a code to auto-detect those signals, since we already have the satellites and data capability to observe them. Up next, excellent study on the solar forcing of precipitation. This one looks back through the records found in the Peruvian Andes geology and shows how the 11-year and longer grand solar cycles dramatically affect position and amount of rain. Lastly, folks, we find an outstanding paper on an asteroid sample from Itokawa. This is the one they sampled in near-Earth space and brought back to Earth about 15 years ago. New analysis has found that the sample has actually undergone extreme irradiation by a titanic solar blast. They said it was 40 times stronger than the 2003 Halloween blast, which puts it directly into the X1000 to micronova range. It's impossible to tell if it was the super flare or accretion release, but one of the major 6,000 or 12,000 year blasts of the sun, the biggest ones, directly irradiated the sample they brought back from Itokawa. Folks, later today, the first 2025 issue of the Observer Review will be coming out. It's the best way to keep up with the most important science, the only publication.
Who's Bailey? What's the matter, Jim?
What'd you do?
My fucking computer. It's acting fucking retarded.
Oh, playing videos?
Yeah, it just closed the fucking
Screen?
the tab.
It did it or you did it?
I don't know if it's my mouse is fucked up, but it's like not. I'm clicking stuff and nothing's happening, and then
How often do you restart your computer? Jim,
Easy.
when's the last time you restarted that thing?
today,
Oh, you did?
yeah, I shut it off. I don't leave it run anymore.
Observe them. Up next, excellent study on the solar forcing of precipitation. This one looks back through the records found in the Peruvian Andes geology and shows how the 11-year and longer grand solar cycles dramatically affect position and amount of rain. Lastly, folks, we find an outstanding paper on an asteroid sample from Itokawa. This is the one they sampled in near-Earth space and brought back to Earth about 15 years ago. New analysis has found that the sample has actually undergone extreme irradiation by a titanic solar blast. They said it was 40 times stronger than the 2003 Halloween blast, which puts it directly into the X1000 to micronova range. It's impossible to tell if it was the super flare or accretion release, but
Oh, no.
the major 6,000 or 12,000 year blasts of the sun, the biggest ones, directly irradiated the sample they brought back from Itokawa. Folks, later today, the first 2025 issue of the Observer Review will be coming out. The best way to keep up with the most important science, the only publication focused on the coming magnetic pole shift and Earth disaster cycle. Sign up at the link below. We greatly appreciate your support. We'll do this all again tomorrow, right here. But right now, it's 5:30 a.m. in the new Valley of the Sun. Eyes open, no fear. Be safe, everyone.
So who's Bailey, Jim? Do we know? Is that his wife or something?
What? Bailey? What do you mean?
Never mind. Nothing.
He said somebody named Bailey. It's some other scientist. This person. Anyway, so this is the New York Times story that came out today. Pedophilia is a disorder, not a crime.
What? Why are they trying to normalize this again? What?
Well, because why? Because remember earlier we looked at the picture of this. You don't think that these two things are connected?
Kind of go hand in hand, huh? Yeah.
These things are connected.
Yeah.
Well, you played that video that I sent you last night, Dave, the one with the sex baby doll or some shit like that. That was
Disgusting.
disturbing. Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah, see, we got like this stuff here.
Most of us feel discomfort when we think about pedophiles.
Yeah.
But just like pedophiles, we are not responsible for our feelings. We do not choose them. But we are responsible for our actions. And we must make a decision. It is in our responsibility to reflect and to overcome our negative feelings about pedophiles and to treat them with the same respect we treat other people with.
No. We treat them with a trip into the fucking wood chipper.
Yes. Yes.
Right. One-way helicopter ride.
Yeah, so.
Without a parachute.
What the fuck?
Why we must seize the means of production. That was something.
This,
I don't know what the fuck happened.
what the fuck, man?
It's gotten to the point where you it used to be if somebody disagreed with you, you can go, all right, let me think about your position, figure out what. But now it's like these people are insane. Like
That's not a position that an adult has.
what's- no,
Right.
no, it's
I mean,
crazy.
unless they're pedophiles, and then they need to go in the wood chipper and count all the pieces of chips that are left behind. Fucking crazy, man. People are out of their fucking mind. So I have a video called "The True Purpose of the Pyramids," Jim. You know that
I had something. I was trying to get it. I don't know what the fuck happened. I thought I had it bookmarked. And
that thread?
yeah, this thread. I got it. Here it is.
So this is not a video, though, right?
No, this is a thread. So we're gonna. Someone's gonna have to read. So this is his open-minded approach, which is a great follow on X. I recommend everyone follow this guy. He's I don't know who it is, whatever, but it's
Well,
like a monkey
that's
with
the
a thing
video
on
I
his
was gonna.
head.
That's the video I was gonna play was by him. He's got.
Oh, it's a video by him.
No. Yeah. So after we go through this, we'll watch this video about the
It
pyramids.
says, what if the upcoming age of Aquarius really brings the biblical flood? In my latest threads, I shared the last 3 mass extinction events that coincided with geomagnetic excursions. The first occurred approximately 6,400 years ago, associated with the desertification, I don't know, something, changing it to a desert of the Sahara, and the Y chromosome bottleneck, during which 19 out of 20 male lineages went extinct.
What?
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 Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to put a pin
I'm
in
gonna have
that.
to look
Check
that up. Okay.
The second took place roughly 12 to 13,000 years ago, coinciding with the Younger Dryas mass extinction event and the Gothenburg geomagnetic excursion. Third event happened around 18,000 to 19,000 years ago, aligning with the Helena Pelea magnetic excursion. So what do these 3 events have in common with the geomagnetic excursion? Well, for starters, they all occurred during what we call today the fixed zodiac signs. The event that occurred 18,000 years ago was during the age of Scorpio. The one that occurred 12,000 years ago was in the age of Leo. And the one that occurred 6,000 years ago was during the age of Taurus. That brings us to the current geomagnetic excursion, 6,000 years after the age of Taurus, which coincides with the last fixed zodiac sign, Aquarius. And now we are at the dawn of Aquarius. So the duration of this cycle is approximately 24,000 years. This aligns with ancient esoteric value of 24,000 years for the great year, rather than the scientific value of 25,772 years for the precession of the equinoxes. Really showing what it looks like here. The catch is that the ancient esoteric knowledge, which is tied to the 4 ages of man, or the 4 yugas, the Satya Yuga, Golden Age, the Tetra Yuga, Silver Age, Dwapara Yuga, Bronze Age, and the Kali Yuga, Iron Age, is associated with the seasons of the great year, spring, Golden Age.
Huh.
That's like Hindu stuff, right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
with you.
And
Oh,
in
this-
my other threads,
Seasons
I
of the Golden
already-
Age, spring, Golden Age, summer, silver, autumn, bronze, winter, iron. And in my other threads, I already explained why they all last 6,000 years each, or 24,000 years combined. Milutin Milankovitch, using precise mathematical calculations, analyzed how variations in the Earth's orbit, eccentricity, axial tilt, obliquity, maybe, I don't know, and precession interact. to
Obliquity.
influence- Obliquity.
Yeah.
Obliquity. And precession interact to influence solar radiation at different latitudes over time. Through his groundbreaking work, he determined that the 23,000-year precessional cycles from the 3 cycles shown in the video below concluded that the most important cycle for climate change is the 23,000-year cycle derived from the combination of all 3 cycles. This brings us closer to the esoteric value of 24,000 years for the great year. over the last 300,000.
So is he trying to tell us that they have it narrowed down? Like they know that it was 6,000 years ago now? I mean,
Well, they know when these things happen, these geomagnetic excursions. They know when they had,
they're
like
just
there was, like,
measuring. They're just
Right.
measuring
Like,
like the strength.
the
or
Earth,
whatever?
like they're saying, like from what I have read and what I can see, the poles don't flip every 6,000 years. There's just a geomagnetic excursion every 6,000 years, and then like every 12,000 years, the poles flip.
So every 2 seasons,
Yeah.
based on these ages. Okay. So. Oh yeah, 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 for sure. Too white many times. Yes, astrology isn't science.
Yeah. So this is for over the last 300,000 years, the cycle has varied between 20,800 and 29,000 years, with an average of 23,000 years, making it a key factor in understanding Earth's climate cycles. Esoteric knowledge, however, uses a value of 24,000 years instead of 23,000 years. I tend to believe the esoteric knowledge for the current cycle because it is evident they knew how to calculate the seasons. And it seems their understanding of the great year surpasses our current civilizational knowledge. The 24,000 year cycle is significant in esoteric traditions and also relevant to climate science as it reflects the combined effect of axial progression, Earth's wobble, and apsidial precession, orbit shifting, which together determine how solar radiation is distributed across seasons. Solar radiation is one of the main factors driving the ice ages, which could be considered the dark ages.
So in other words, we can't do shit about our climate.
No, we can't. It's all controlled by the sun. And this guy thinks we're headed for an ice age. And he thinks that everybody knows it. Like there's a video of, I did see he posted a video somewhere, and I was going to try to find it, where supposedly Trump and and Elon Musk were talking about this. And that's why they want Greenland, because they want to build bunkers or something to survive the coming ice age.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's what back in the 80s, that's what everybody was worried about, the coming ice age. That was before global warming.
Well,
Look
yeah,
the other way.
like we are, see, like that's the thing. Like from all the science I've seen in the measurements, our global temperature is cooler right now than it was during the Renaissance. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
you know, like when they were building all the cathedrals and shit before the little ice age. Like we're still coming out of that little ice age.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
like I said, in the 80s, everybody was trying to cause a panic about the ice age. Now everybody's causing a panic about global warming. It's a fad.
Yeah.
Like a hula hoop.
I mean, it's weird. Like the thing that's weird is like these ancient cultures, they knew about all this stuff. They tracked these processions. They tracked these things because they left us all this information about it. And we kind of just ignore it.
Right, because they're the dummies, Jim. They're dumb.
Right.
They don't
Yeah.
know nothing.
But
They don't
why,
know
you know, like-
science. Science. We're the scientists. Those were the dummies, Julio.
Well, what they achieved with the equipment they had or lack of equipment they had is amazing compared to what we achieve now with all the modern equipment.
And it seems like we get the same fucking answers.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like we're like we create all this stuff to find out the answers, and guess what? It's not changing. You're not going
Yeah.
to change the answer. The answer is
I've been a fan of reading science books, astrophysics books since I was a kid. I love astronomy and all that stuff. But the older I get, the more I think we don't know shit.
shit.
Like
we don't know
it's-
shit.
It's, it doesn't add up.
Exactly.
So, and I need to clarify this discrepancy regarding why ancient esoteric knowledge uses 24,000 years for the cycle instead of 25,772 years for the full precession. So back to the age of Aquarius. As we are all aware, we are experiencing a geomagnetic excursion, which became evident between the late 1940s and the 1960s when the North Pole started drifting towards Siberia. Indeed, one of the signs was a super rare celestial phenomenon that occurs once in thousands of years. This happened in 1962 when all 7 original astrological bodies, the 5 planets, the sun and the moon, aligned in the sign of Capricorn, accompanied by a total solar eclipse on the same day.
Damn.
What?
That would have been cool to see.
This
There's
announced
a picture of that.
transition.
What was this? 1962? What they call
Well,
it?
this is what he's showing us. Whatever. I don't know.
Excuse me.
I don't know what it is, but anyway, This announced the transition from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
The latest, oh shit, what happened? What the fuck happened?
There
There
it
you
is.
go.
The latest update on the position of the North and South magnetic poles in 2024 shows no sign that the drifting of the poles will stop. Before 1962s, the poles drifted within the same area as you can see from the pictures below. That's why billionaires and governments are preparing their doomsday bunkers in cities. They are aware of this reality, but are keeping the public blinded. Like they're saying all this like 1600s, 1700s, it was all over here.
Oh,
1800s and then 1900, and then it started going like this. It's, whoa.
shit. So So even in the 1700s, we were aware of where true North magnetic pole was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So back to the esoteric knowledge behind the age of Aquarius. Mark 14, verse 13 through 16. 13. So he sent two of his disciples, telling them, "Go into the city, and a man carrying a jar of water will meet you. Follow him. Say to the owner of the house he enters." The teacher asks, "Where is my guest room, where I may eat the Passover with my disciples?" "He will show you a large room upstairs, furnished and ready. Make preparation for us there." The disciple left, went into the city, and found things just as Jesus had told them. So they prepared the Passover. This Passover is connected to the vernal equinox, when the sun passes over from the house of Pisces to the house of Aquarius. This event will symbolize the Last Supper, signifying judgment. So that's his interpretation of what that means, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
My interpretation of the relief of the zodiac constellation Aquarius spilling water from the jar in the Dendera temple of ancient Egypt signifies a great extinction event. You can see two stars, two disciples, following Aquarius, and then a headless figure, which can only symbolize an extinction event. After that, we see a sacrificial goat representing the age of Capricorn and a new beginning.
Wow, he's reading deep.
Why has this guy got a head missing? There's all these stars here. It's very weird.
I'm just saying, like, the guy's interpreting it the way he sees it. Yeah. Just like our fucking
Just like Billy Graham.
scientists.
I mean,
do.
Billy
Yeah.
Carson.
Yeah. Like all of them. Graham Hancock, any of them.
Oh, read the rest of my spread by supporting me on Patreon, blah, blah, blah. Or subscribing here to my account. This is another interpretation of the Great Year, where I clarified the misconception about the symbolic 24,000 year duration versus the 25,772, and where many of the zodiac signs align with their descriptions in various religions, such as Virgo and the Bride, the weighing of the heart, and Libra.
So right now we're in the astrological age of Pisces.
Right.
I think we're in Aquarius. I don't know.
Aquarius, I think, is in. They last about 2,000 years apiece because it's how the constellations line up with the Earth's rotation on its axis. So it goes every 2,100 years or so. It switches. So I think Aquarius is coming.
Whatever
up
this
in like
were,
20 years.
Ophiuchus and the 1,000-year reign of the Messiah, etc. Be sure to read all of this by subscribing and gain access to the rest of my exclusive posts. Let's not ignore the signs in the sky. It's like a two-headed snake or something here, and this is lame.
Also, watch this
This
video.
post is unavailable. Huh. Okay.
Yeah, Ophiuchus that's the 13th zodiac sign. They tried to add it like
Oh,
20 or 30 years ago. They said, "Oh, wait a minute, there's another zodiac sign."
that's exactly, Storm. I remember the 70s too. We were warned of the Ice Age, the Ice Age, the Ice Age.
Yeah, that's right, Stone. Yep.
Pussbag says, if you question him, you're a science denier. Yeah, I know, man. Everybody's got their agenda to sell us, I guess, that they all have their academic degrees from the highfalutin colleges that just teach the same. That's why I do like some of the newer theories, Julio, because I think they're thinking outside of the academic box, which is interesting. Some of it
Well, a lot
is
of-
woo-woo, but
Yeah, a lot of scientists
whatever.
and physicists think that we've hit a dead end in terms of knowledge about how the universe works and stuff. And they're
yeah,
kinda
they're just
going
making shit up
back
at this
to-
point. Yeah.
right and trying to get funding for their projects, and
Yeah.
their studies.
I mean, if I got to hear about a black hole one more fucking time, Julio. Oh my
But
God.
right, I get it already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just fucking prove it exists, asshole.
Oh, anyway, I don't think I showed this. This was this thing that on this first thing we were just talking about the biblical flood and the mass extinction thing, and then he's got this whole area here circled. Where
Okay.
weird how this area here that's circled is like where they say people came from. You know what I mean? Like out of Egypt and all that,
Right.
or out of Africa type of thing, and then spread up through here and like Turkey here. Oh shit, Turkey here. You know, right here is where they
Mhm.
found those old ass Gobekli Tepe and all that is right here. And like this is all like for some reason desert now. Like why would we people have come out of, you know what I mean, like deserts?
Oh, yeah. This was before the shift.
Yeah, so it had to have
yeah.
been before. Like, and it, know that this was. They said this was all lush and stuff through here, and then, you know, so. You know, and then they show like the Indus Valley, and then what are these things here? All these bodies laying there, and then
That's odd.
you know, like they're saying, like he's saying that this was like all like lush and green and stuff around here, and then it flooded or whatever, and then it turned to desert. Like, oh, maybe that was all like salt water came and killed everything, and it became sand. I don't know. But you got a video you want to play?
Yeah. If you can take it. If you can't take it, let me know. But it's him talking about pyramids. Here we
Okay,
go.
make it full screen. There you go.
The Egyptians used the term per-Neter for pyramid. Egyptologists have translated Neter as god or goddess, and other versions of the translation also include the word or concept of energy. Both translations are true and describe the same thing. While per-Neter emphasized the religious and divine aspect of these structures as houses of gods, they also use the word mer or mir as more general term for pyramid. Later in this video, you will see why this is interesting. The Mesoamerican pyramid named Teotihuacan in Aztec means the birthplace of the gods. Thus, two unconnected cultures, according to the mainstream, named their pyramidal structures after the same concept. The Chinese Emperor Qin, in his quest for immortality, built a pyramid. The story is that the emperor was searching for the famous elixir of immortality. Some might know this as the philosopher's stone, the nectar, the soma drink, etc. He wanted to
Did he
live
say
at
the
least
nectar?
10,000 years to
He did. He almost
Oh.
got a strike. Yeah.
oversee his empire. His people couldn't find the correct ingredients or herbs, but after a while, it seems that he understood the secret and built a pyramid. That makes three unconnected cultures, according to the mainstream, on three different continents that built pyramids for the same purpose. The word pyramid is derived from the Greek word pyramis and pyramidos. The term pyramidos has been translated as fire in the middle. Prometheus bestowed upon humans the sacred fire. Many interpret this as fire or technology, but that could not make us equal to the gods. The true significance lies in the inner fire, knowledge, inner energy, spirit, light, and Kundalini energy. If you awaken your Kundalini, you can achieve immortality, thus becoming equal to the gods. Consequently, Zeus severely punished Prometheus for his actions. The Greek meaning of the fire in the middle and the Hindu concept of Kundalini align perfectly because our inner fire is dormant exactly in the middle of our body or in the root chakra known as Muladhara chakra, representing the material reality. Additionally, this concept of Kundalini perfectly aligns with the Jewish mysticism of Merkaba or the Chariot and the Kabbalistic concept of the 10 Sephirot. Furthermore, if you read my articles on Patreon, you will find a direct connection between the concept of the soul in ancient Egypt, which is divided into 9 parts and directly aligns with the 10 Sephirot in the Kabbalah. So in the Hermetic teachings, you need to separate the fire from the gross matter if you want to achieve enlightenment. That means you need to separate your soul from your body. In Kundalini, this is
Holy shit,
represented
Jim.
as the raising of the serpent through the 7 chakras. In Egypt, this means merging the spirit Ba with the life force Ka through the serpent Neheb Kau, and this is directly connected to the concept of Merkaba, which is the chariot that will take you to the throne of God. The Egyptian and Jewish concepts are practically the same. The Merkaba chariot is the merged spirit Ba with the life force Ka. If we divide the word Merkaba, we have Mer for pyramid. Remember at the beginning of this video, I mentioned that the Egyptians used the word Mer for pyramid, Ba for the spirit, and Ka for the life force. Also, the Merkaba chariot is represented by 2 merged pyramids, creating the 6-pointed star, which signifies achieving the perfect equilibrium of the divine feminine and masculine energies. The same symbol is present in Hinduism and is known as Shatkona. The pyramid pointed downwards represents the divine feminine energy, and the pyramid pointing upwards represents the divine masculine energy. So the Greek understanding of the pyramids and their purpose was similar to that of the previous 3 cultures in China, Egypt and Mesoamerica. And we know that the Greeks learned and inherited many things from the ancient Egyptian culture. Additionally, the same concept is present in Jewish mysticism, Hinduism and Tantra. With the burning of the ancient Egyptian libraries, such as the one in Alexandria, we lost most of this knowledge. In my opinion, this was done intentionally, but fear not, the knowledge was preserved by the powerful families, and I have written a few posts and articles about this. Now let's start connecting more dots. The birth of alchemy is considered to be in ancient Egypt, Sumer, India and China. Later the craft was preserved by the Israelites and the Arab cultures. One of the main ingredients in alchemy is liquid mercury. The history of alchemy and its development is very complex, so I will stick to the main point. It was considered that mercury is one of the ingredients in creating the Philosopher's Stone that can grant you immortality. And remember, Emperor Qin from China built a pyramid to achieve immortality. So how does mercury connect to the pyramids? Well, under the pyramid in China, they found a large amount of liquid mercury. But what's even more interesting is that large amounts of liquid mercury were found under the pyramids in Mesoamerica too. Before we dive into the more practical use of mercury in the pyramids, it's good to point out the connection to gold. Mercury is used to extract gold from the ore, natural rock with valuable metal. Once you crush the ore, you pour liquid mercury. Mercury forms an amalgam with gold, meaning it binds with the gold particles to form a solid amalgam.
Well,
The
this guy's got it
amalgam
all
is
figured
then
out.
heated in order.
Crazy, right? Like
Yeah.
mercury? Like
So he said that the Library of Alexandria was
burnt
destroyed
down.
on purpose
Yeah.
by the Romans to hide the secret of immortality.
Yes.
You would
That's
think the
basically-
Roman emperors would want that knowledge, but
You would
I don't know.
think, right?
I'm just trying to.
What do you think, Jim? You think he's pretty savvy or what?
You savvy?
Jim,
I don't know. I don't know.
This mercury's kind of interesting, no?
Huh.
Did they say they found any in Egypt though? Or it's just China and Mexico?
To vaporize the mercury. This
was
lives
all
behind
free.
the gold in its pure
was?
form. The
Yeah.
esoteric teachings use this symbolism for mercury in a sense that mercury is
God damn it.
used to extract your soul or gold from the materialistic matter or your body, the ore, to achieve enlightenment. So to find out the real use for mercury, I should mention that the pyramids had electromagnetic properties. There was a recent study conducted by scientists about the electromagnetic properties and resonance features of the pyramids.
Uh-oh.
The link to the study will be in the description.
Ah,
If we take into the consideration the electromagnetic theories of consciousness, consciousness can be understood as an electromagnetic phenomenon. In ancient wisdom, the word for consciousness is the soul, which in ancient Egypt is divided into 9 parts. Some of those parts are Ba and Ka. You can read my article on Patreon about this and the connections to the manifestation of Ein Sof in 10 Sephirot and the 7 chakras in Hinduism. Imagine the pyramid's underground chambers filled with mercury, amplifying these energies, which then interact with the human body's own electromagnetic field. This interaction could potentially align with the brain's quantum field, influencing cognition and consciousness. The pyramid, acting as a colossal resonator, has been designed to harmonize the brain's quantum waves and electromagnetic properties of the body, inducing altered states of consciousness or even tapping into the collective unconscious, a concept proposed by Carl Jung.
What the fuck is this LSD without taking the LSD, Julio?
Dave, from my brain to your mouth.
Like, what? So they built the pyramids to get fucking trippy? Is that what you're telling me here? That's funny.
Well, they had the Mexican pyramids, Egyptian pyramids, and Emperor Qian and the Chinese, and they were all, there's all traces of mercury, which is part of the equation for the Philosopher's Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you'll achieve immortality. But the Romans destroyed the knowledge on purpose.
Because they didn't want to trip balls, I guess.
Because, yeah, I'm not doubt. Look, I don't know what's true and what's not. I'm just trying to stay along with
connecting to the higher states of the soul, merging the spirit Ba with the life or Ska, which has electromagnetic properties, and achieving enlightenment. The geometry and materials of the pyramid itself could have acted as amplifiers or resonators for these electromagnetic energies, acting as rectifiers by spinning the mercury in the chambers and generating a magnetic field through a process known as geodynamo. This might have created the perfect condition for humans inside the pyramid to achieve enlightenment while they are alive. The pyramids were intended to be used by living humans. So in a sense, the vortex of mercury created the perfect conditions to separate the soul or gold from the body or ore and catapult it with the speed of light into the realm of the afterlife, seeking to achieve enlightenment while the person is meditating inside the chambers of the pyramid. This is also present in the stories of Hinduism and the celestial vehicles known as Vimanas. They also use mercury and look like large temples in the form of pyramids. What's more interesting is perhaps this concept was used by multiple people at once, creating a vehicle that takes the souls into the higher celestial realms. In my opinion, the ziggurat structures in Sumer had the same purpose. Remember, the Tower of Babel was destroyed by the gods, so humans couldn't become equal with them. That's why many temples have a similar structure to the pyramids or have spires and cone-shaped tops. They are even present in the temples of modern religions. The special frequencies detected around and inside the pyramids have been observed in modern times. Andrija Puharic, a pioneer in medical research on electrobiology and extrasensory abilities of the brain, measured the 8 Hz frequency inside the pyramid and claimed that it had a healing effect on his body, mind, and soul. The importance of fine-tuning the body on a specific frequency is further corroborated by the closely monitored project of the CIA and the Monroe Institute known as the Gateway Experience, which is designed to induce an out-of-body experience, enter the astral non-physical realm, and engage in remote viewing, among other abilities. Right at the beginning of the session, a certain frequency is emitted through the headphones to align the electromagnetic waves of the brain. Furthermore, the project uses humming noise, much like the Hindu chant Om, which is connected to Amen, Amon, and Christian chants as well, to further fine-tune the acoustic resonance of the body. Also, in the same project, the subject is repeating utterances for protection from evil spirits and seeking guidance from more powerful good-willed spirits, while also stating that the intentions for the out-of-body experience are good and pure, akin to the practices found in the pyramid text and other religions during prayer. But this is more than just a theory. The pyramid texts found in the step pyramid at Saqqara confirm that their purpose was to enable the transformation of the human soul into an Ak, or to aid in the merging of the spirit Ba with the life or Ska to achieve immortality or godlike status. These texts, intended only for the pharaohs, were filled with spells or utterances meant to be chanted by the reciters while alive. They contain numerous action verbs such as fly and leap, describing the pharaoh's journey to the afterlife. The spells detailed various methods of travel, including ramps, stairs, ladders, and most significantly, flying, directly corresponding with the flying chariot of the Merkaba, the stairways to heaven, and the 33 Masonic steps or the Jacob's ladder. Moreover,
fly now?
the spells could call upon
Dude, like, I don't know. I mean,
the gods for assistance, even threatening them if they did not comply. It was common for the pyramid text to be written in the first person, emphasizing the personal connection between the pharaoh and the gods. The texts were also used to guide the pharaoh through the house of Amenti and ensure that he reached his destination among the stars. And this info entirely corresponds with the steps for enlightenment that I've shared in my exclusive article on Patreon. So to summarize this video, which could be even longer, but I'm sure many will not watch it till the end. The pyramids and the ancient temples served as natural technological devices that shielded and created perfect electromagnetic conditions to aid the mediator in achieving enlightenment, tapping into higher dimensions and merging with the higher parts of the soul up to the Keter, Ankh, Sahasrara chakra, reaching heaven and attaining immortality. Every ancient religion revolves around this concept of self-spirituality. It would really help you grasp this concept.
You're on mute, Dave. Mute. You're on mute, Dave.
Jim, what do you think? You want to build a pyramid, put some mercury on it, and test his theory? See if you can trip? Find your
Maybe.
different consciousness? Like 9 levels of consciousness, right, Julio?
I guess.
That's what he
It
said.
seemed like. So, Jim, what I mean, after watching that stuff, like, what is he trying to get us to believe? Like, what's kind of the moral of the Aesop's fable of that?
I don't know.
The pyramids were built for the living to help people find their consciousness. He's trying to tell us that when these fucking archaeologists tell us these are tombs, they're not tombs, right? These are places where people go for enlightenment, is what I got out of it. And they use some mercury, I guess, to help coincide with the electromagnetic field that's already natural in the human body. And they line up, and the pyramids are shaped so that all that energy is focused in the right place. Pretty crazy. I mean, it's a good theory for what it is. I mean, it sounds like he did research, unlike some other guys that we listen to.
Well, that's where we listened to Billy Carson, right? That's
Yeah.
his last name. Did I get it right this time? I fucked
You got
it
it
up
right.
before.
Yeah.
And like this guy, clearly they're smart people.
Yeah.
But sometimes, or like the solar flare guy, you kind of wonder sometimes how they got to where they got.
What
Like,
got him here, right? What led?
Yeah.
Like,
Not
yeah,
that they're wrong, just it's
No.
interesting to me.
me too. Like that's some woo-woo shit. You know, I mean, I got a video that somebody sent me, Jim, from the 80s where they were the Russians were controlling America's weather.
You don't have to go back that far. Remember Katrina, when everybody thought that George Bush caused Hurricane Katrina to.
Well, my point is though, they were talking about this in 1985,
Mhm.
right? So like they all, I mean, it's always, you know, it's like let's bring this up again. That was a story 25 years ago or 30 years ago. Let's bring that back up.
Yeah, it's cyclical, right?
Yeah, this guy, this colonel, or Lieutenant Colonel Thomas Bearden, Russian Soviet weather engineering over North America. Whew. All right. So, I mean,
Do you have a video, Dave? You were going to
there's
play?
a video. I mean, I don't know if you guys want to watch
Oh, okay.
a VHS video from 1985. I just think it's interesting that they were talking about that stuff in conferences in the 80s. Like, might be nice to hear how they're doing it.
There's a lot of paranoia. I mean, you remember the Russians are going
Yeah,
to bomb
the
us. They're
Cold
controlling the
War.
weather.
Yeah.
They're fucking with our culture. Oh, wait a minute. They did fuck with our culture. That's how we wound up where we are now.
Yeah, they did a pretty goddamn good job of it too.
They sure did.
Yep. Jimmy, finding some stuff?
No, I did find something. Let me go back to it here. So So this guy again. He's posted something. He said, "What if they care only about continuing their bloodline through the ages, with some of them tracing their lineage back 12,000 years to the age of Leo? What if the coat of arms of these families tells a much different story than the ones we've been told? Breakaway civilizations, royal families, gatekeepers." And this guy says the earthly lineage is about 75,000 years old, 3 precession cycles. They have a contract with the sub-logos of this planet to manifest a harvest of both positivity and negatively polarized souls. And this guy says, "Is this your theory or have you read it somewhere?" And he says, "Not my theory. It comes from 2 modern sources that I've validated against ancient teachings." Okay, so, and I pulled up this thing that this guy's talking about. And it's fucking insane.
Oh no.
In the beginning, there was an infinite one, the source of all that is, infinite consciousness, intelligent infinity. You know, and he goes through all this whole fucking thing about there's bloodlines and Yahweh and
Oh no.
oh yeah.
Does he bring
No
up the
video though.
Anunnaki?
I don't think so, but that's what I had there, and then I said, "No, fuck that. Way too much reading."
That's way too much to read. Here, let me
Oh, wait.
go ahead, Jim.
But I wanted to look for something else real quick. Oh, there's this thing I wanted to show.
Okay.
So, you know, speaking of like climate change and the Earth's, you know, here we go. So, just what this graph proves is that even if mankind is influencing the temperature, it is insignificant compared to the natural forces that are apparent when you look back 400,000 years. But the temperature change over the last 150 years could mostly be due to coming out of the little ice age that lasted from 1200 to 1850. Mankind's effect is likely a small part of this recent warming and an artifact of urban heat island effect. See, that's what I was saying. Like all the concrete we're putting down, you know, and concrete holds heat and stuff. So that's why we're like, oh, it's getting warmer. No, it's just because that's where, you know, we have concrete
this
that's doing all this stuff. You
Asphalt.
can see where, yeah. Look, it's
I'll
an
be right back,
asshole.
guys. What's up, Cynic? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, brother. How about you guys?
Cynic.
Good.
But you could see though, actually, all these interglacial periods that if you go back that we measured, they only last about 10,000 years. You know what I mean?
Hey, why do I have to be an asshole, you jerk?
What?
Huh?
I thought you enjoyed. I thought you enjoyed asshole.
Well, are you trying to call me a bottom feeder? Dude. Nice. I give it a 4, maybe a 5.
Cool.
That's pretty good.
So look at this. I mean, this chart. I mean, I didn't just make this chart. I found it somewhere. It says CO2 coalition.
What is it?
Says
What
the-
what are we talking about?
This
What's
is the temperatures. They're monitoring the you know, when basically like when we were out of, you know, interglacier warming periods or when we were in ice ages, you know, like these are all ice age times. And so like you can see we were only warm like these small sections, and here we are. So it's like, what the fuck are we even doing? Talking about global warming.
it's a way to make money, Jim.
Totally.
It's a fucking
yeah.
racket.
You know, and then you go like this and look at this, and this guy says, starting to wonder what's going on. During the next 2 weeks, extreme cold over northern hemisphere continents may be enough to return to global temperatures to the 91-2020 climatological mean, erasing the last 5 years of global warming. So they're saying that
I'm in Birmingham right now, and there's snow on the ground everywhere from last week.
that's what I'm saying. They're like,
Still.
it's been so cold the past 2 weeks
Yeah.
Birmingham?
Yeah.
that it's setting the global temperature median back 30 years.
Yeah, everywhere that there's shade right now, Julio. If you look, there's still snow on the ground there.
Nice.
I haven't seen that in
Damn.
years.
Yeah,
So yeah,
Miss
global
May.
warming.
But guess what?
What?
I have no snow on the ground in Illinois.
It's supposed to be like a torrential snowstorm here next week, and I want to stay. I want to stay for the snowstorm, but I live by the beach, so I kind of don't want to either.
This guy has some kind of computer program that's monitoring temperatures, and he's saying it's been cold. This January is so far is colder than the past 5 years.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So it is cold. Well,
It's cold as shit in Birmingham right now. It's been cold as shit in South Alabama. I mean, I normally every birthday of mine, which is in January, I go to the beach, and there's no way I condition.
Yeah. Didn't I pull up some stuff a couple weeks ago that said that all this stuff that they thought that the whole increase in temperature that they thought has happened was actually due to like the paint they put on the fucking sensors?
You sure
yeah,
did.
that was like 2 months ago. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, like they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It's all a bunch of bullshit. And it's like, yeah, give the government more money so that they can make the weather gooder.
Yeah, well, they're also
So they
getting
can build
kickbacks
fucking
from
solar
these.
farms and wind farms. That's it's all.
I
about
will
a
say
money
I
grab.
can get behind like Elon Musk is talking about they want to put like he's trying to get them to put trailers, like to give trailer, you know, like the FEMA trailers to give them to all the people whose houses got destroyed in
California,
LA and in Florida and in New, you know, like from the hurricanes and from these fires. Like give their house got burned down or destroyed, give them a trailer, and then he'll put Tesla panels on the roof and one of those Tesla power walls on it, and give them Starlink. That way they'll have power and internet. And they'll be self-contained. They don't need to be connected to, you know, like basically it'll be self-sustaining.
One of those,
right? That would be fucking fantastic.
I'd go to the woods in one of those and just never leave.
dude. I mean, but just to have it on their property until they can rebuild would be awesome.
Yeah, just
for
like
those
rebuild.
people. Yeah.
You know, instead
I
of
So who's-
It
I
didn't
just
just
wouldn't
burn down the
rebuild.
houses; it burned down their infrastructure.
Right.
Jim.
that's what I'm saying.
I really
This-
wouldn't, Julio. I
Fuck
would just
got what I need.
Yeah, it's like I'd have Starlink and all that shit. Fuck.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, just
I'm
sell the property.
in a
Yeah.
woods.
Just sell my home and buy some land somewhere. Put that bitch on it. Fuck yeah.
So who's against this? Like if he's
Do you imagine
Offering a
turning the
solution.
Palisades to a trailer park?
I don't know. Well, the Democrats are against it
That's a
because
good
it's Elon Musk and they don't want, you know,
Him to win at anything.
they don't like him.
Yeah, they
Well,
go,
he didn't even get the contract for the fucking semis
Yeah.
using his own
Are you-
batteries.
are you telling me, Jim, that if Chuck Schumer came up with this idea, the Democrats would like it? Are you trying to state that?
Well, no, they wouldn't like it because it's going to require using
Tesla
products. You know,
But
because
if
that's
there
the
was
company
another
that could actually make it work. That actually has roof panels that are solar panels that could be a roof instead. You know, like he has roof tiles that are solar panels. They connect together, so they could just tile the mobile homes in these tiles, then put this fucking, you know, slap the power. Basically, like what he did was this was another thing that's fascinating. He's like Elon Musk. Like I don't know, maybe it's not him. Maybe some people that work for him. I'm not sucking his dick or anything, but they looked and said, "Oh, we're making these cars, and these cars have these battery packs to run the cars." He's like, "Wait, we could take this battery pack that's in the car and put it on the wall of a house,
Mhm.
and it could power the fucking house."
Yeah.
And then we put solar panels on the roof, just keep recharging and keep recycling them, and you got power. Like, I mean,
I don't
looked
know
at-
why. I don't know why he bothers anymore. Really, he keeps coming up with ideas to fix problems, and everybody, at some point, he's got to go, whatever, fuck it.
No.
Yeah, well, not according to TPPT, not according to Bill Burr. Bill Burr says that everyone did a great job and no one could stop these fires and everything's great and it's arsonists and all this stuff and helicopter. Fuck Bill
Yeah, but is Bill Burr
Really was.
known for good decision making?
No. See his wife?
No, I know, that's
That's
right,
what I was
no.
getting at. So
Who doesn't Rocky like?
I'm assuming Elon.
Oh,
I don't have an opinion of him, but he seems to have some good ideas.
He does have some
Here
good
and there.
ideas. Some
At
of his
least he's
execution is a
trying,
little wonky, but yeah,
right?
that's
Yeah.
that's exactly it.
Yeah. I mean, he could just.
Well, he's an engineer, dude. That's all he is. He just solves problems. That's all he does. You know, like, okay, look at how do we fix this? How do we fix this? How do we
or
fix
he,
this?
or he
Everything
gets
does.
people to solve the problem.
to do
for
it.
him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, he can't be doing all this himself, right?
You got to give him credit for the rockets and all that shit. That's
Oh
impressive.
fuck yeah! Like he came up like I don't know. Did someone tell him that? I mean, for all we know, he's just has a bunch of people that tell him these things, and he's just the front man saying stuff. I don't know.
Anunnaki, maybe.
But maybe he's one of these ancient bloodlines.
Nah, he's from.
It's all
South
starting to come
Africa.
together.
No.
Well,
No,
yeah.
he's,
Well, maybe they
he's
went to
breaking
some-
up the bloodline. That's why they don't like him, Jim.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah.
He's creating.
He is
his
the
own-
most accomplished African American, I would say, of all time.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, you're exactly right.
Oh, don't take it away from Nelson Mandela.
Well, he's not American.
That's true. Yeah, he's not African
true.
American.
Actually.
He's just African.
Sorry, Dave.
He's
Actually,
an African.
Yeah, I know. I'm an
yeah, he's just
asshole.
African. No.
No, you're right. You're
You're
right.
exactly right. I'm actually his ass on that.
I mean, you were right. I was wrong. Wow.
I mean, Bill Cosby was pretty accomplished at things.
He was, yeah.
He was
Jello.
successful.
He was, yeah. He was good. We should do an Elon Musk stream on MLK Day to celebrate African Americans.
This isn't really a 30.
Look at Dave's face.
Oh, dude. What we should do is we should.
It's gold,
should-
Jerry.
I can't
Gold.
say what I can't. Never
What
mind.
what time is the inauguration?
Oh, that would be
Noon? I think noon.
Yeah, noon or something.
We should do a live stream of the inauguration on Rumble.
I got the day off, dude. I'm fucking in.
Yeah, we could do it. I don't have anything scheduled. We could
So
do that on
this-
Rumble.
This isn't
Monday, so
really
yeah.
a Thursday topic, but I just saw this and I know everybody would like to see this. So
All right.
Okay.
Oh,
everybody knows.
God.
Everybody knows Andrew Bronca, right? So-
Yeah, and I know Mike Cernovich too.
And
And
it's
I
Mike
know this
Cernovich.
story.
Like Mike Cernovich wrote a fucking thing about having, like, he's really good friends with Jack Murphy, isn't he?
Yes.
Cernovich.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. I don't know if he
And
still is.
he
but
also
was.
talked with the lift, doesn't he?
Jim, can I
Cernovich,
stop
a
you?
little bit of a lift.
Can
but
I
he
stop
has a
you
little
and
bit.
Cynic real quick? Can you give me a TLDR on Cernovich? I'm not.
Right wing
Terrible.
grifter.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you.
Major.
Do you even want to read
Picture
this?
of it.
Who's
Huh?
Cernovich?
Yeah.
So Mike Cernovich,
Cernovich is nothing but a shit talking douchebag.
That's it.
That's what Bronca said.
All right.
That's it.
That's a good TLDR. Like it.
Yeah, he's a I know better than you right wing guy.
Yeah.
That's all he is.
Yeah. You gonna read it, Jim?
Fuck.
Well, I mean,
All
it
right,
was.
I will read this. This is Mike. I'm reading Mike Cernovich. It's his thing here. And he
Look
says,
this.
Mike Cernovich says what sex was like for him with a tranny.
Good job, Jim. Wait, that was a good one. Way to do that. Nailed it.
Mike Cernovich says this was a long while ago. Mike Cernovich says he went out with a friend to meet up with a girl that he knew who was going out for her birthday. See, this is already wrong because it's not a girl. Since she had a table and bottle service at some nicer club. Mike Cernovich
Fatty.
and his friend got pretty fucked up on vodka and Oxycontins before they went out. He knew the girl. She was a cute Asian chick, and Mike Cernovich knew she had cute friends. One of her friends, Mike Cernovich never met, was there, like 5'8" Chinese, and Mike Cernovich says fucking hot, looked like some
You're-
K-pop singer.
You're no fun, Jim.
The girl Mike Cernovich knew introduced him to. I'm reading this in a way that it can't get clipped in any fucking way
I'm so low.
to make it seem like I was involved in any of it. All
Can you
right?
put this in your AI thing? You can have
No.
me on your channel, like the
No.
AI read it.
Could you
Oh.
at least read it with a lisp?
Yeah. The girl I knew introduced and Mike Cernovich put it off with immediately. Mike Cernovich kept drinking. Mike Cernovich was probably popped another oxy. Mike Cernovich was big fucked up.
Wow.
Don't
Cernovich.
blame it on the oxy and the booze, Mike. It's not their fault. You're a faggot.
No, I will not read it like a Penthouse Forum letter. I will not do that, Storm.
Please do.
No fucking way.
I knocked on the door to deliver the pizza. There she was with a cock.
Massive glistening thing hanging down.
Mike
to her
Cernovich.
knees.
Hold on, this is Mike Cernovich.
It had a little
remember-
triangle hat on the end of it.
Mike Cernovich remembered her saying like twice, "Did you know I'm a man?" She was hammered too. And Mike Cernovich thought it was a joke and would respond with something like, "Fuck you." And she'd laugh. Now, but he keeps saying she, but it's a he. Were there signs? Mike Cernovich didn't know. Maybe she was grinding against him too hard when he danced with her.
Oh,
When she grabbed Mike Cernovich's hand to go to the outside of the bar for a smoke, maybe her grip was a little too strong. Maybe she had hairy knuckles. Maybe she had big banana fingers and could palm a basketball.
and an Adam's apple. Yeah.
maybe when Mike Cernovich kissed this dude, he was too forceful and lacked that feminine sensuality. Mike Cernovich was too fucked up to notice that there was a big giant cock in his mouth.
That's a giveaway.
Every time.
He came back to
right?
his
God damn it. Another cock in my mouth. Fuck. Every fucking time.
When Mike Cernovich and her left the club, they had some. The dude had some coke. He put it on his dick, and Mike Cernovich snorted it off of his dick.
All right.
They was so
Okay,
fucking.
all right.
They were. Mike Cernovich was so fucking horny and fucked up. Mike Cernovich just wanted to start going at it. Mike Cernovich took off her pants, and there was a shriveled black thing. Mike Cernovich forgot what their conversation was. Mike Cernovich was too fucked up. Mike Cernovich remembered her being embarrassed and saying she told him and she didn't think he cared. Mike Cernovich was shocked, but also too horny and fucked up to say no and already went too far. Mike Cernovich kept going at it, and one thing Mike Cernovich remembered is her pushing her shriveled little prick into Mike Cernovich's face when she was deep throating him in the 69 position.
God damn it.
This is why we can't have nice
Oh
things.
no! Oh no! Read the next line. Jim kept trying to move away from it,
No,
but Jim eventually just
Mike
gave
Cernovich
in
kept trying
and
to
let
move away from it.
penetrate Jim's mouth.
but eventually Mike Cernovich did put a cock in his mouth.
You know, if you can't beat them, suck them, right?
Mike Cernovich
I
cried a
mean,
little when he realized what he was doing. It had a weird chemically salty taste. Is he talking about the nut in his mouth or his tears? Oh, I mean, we could get, we could ask Aaron Imholt what nut tastes like, and if maybe these two could talk about it.
Jim,
Oh,
you
God.
think they were tears
Get him on the
of,
street.
you think they were tears of shame, or do you think that it was him choking on the fucking cock? and
Why
he
would
was
somebody
gagging?
write this?
That's Mike. I'm with you, Jim. No, I'm out. Why?
I love
Why would
how
you
he
write
calls her she. You just sucked her cock and you're still calling him a her?
I know.
She eventually took a cab home and I fell asleep. The next day I woke up like 3 p.m, not wanting to believe what happened, but the hint of chemical taste
Oh,
in my
no.
mouth reminded me of what happened. I was
fucking-
depressed for a while.
Aftertaste of cock? Jesus.
Wait a minute, man.
You
What
imagine-
the fuck, man?
I just
I'm
imagine-
mad at Bronca for fucking putting.
Dude, like, just say you had
feel
sex
like
with a
Bronca
dude.
stuck his dick
not
in your
sex
mouth
with a tranny.
after
You
having to
fucked a
read
dude,
that.
Cernovich. Just say that.
Is that real?
Sucks
Is
to
this
be-
real?
Yes,
It's
it's
got to
real.
be. Nobody would make
No.
this up, right?
This is real.
Well,
this
this
is
would be
old
considered
lore.
severe slander, defamation,
This is
libel.
old lore. Like this is
But then again, I mean,
I
this must have been at the
cheered.
same time Jack Murphy was writing those cuck articles. But how come nobody has ever asked Cernovich about this? Cernovich has been on.
Oh, this is from 2012.
Yeah.
oh, so it's longer than that. Yeah, this is. I knew it was old.
July
lore, 'cause
20th,
Cernovich has been
2012,
around.
he wrote this?
Yeah, Cernovich has
When-
been around for damn near a decade, and I remember hearing about it at
Why do
least
all these-
6 years ago.
It seems like a lot of these right-wing pundits turn out to be fucking degenerates.
Because they're
They're
not
the
really
grifters
right wing
that don't
people at all.
offer
They're
anything,
fucking
though.
left wing people that just found like they couldn't make it with the it was easier for them to make money on the right because
Yeah, all they
people on
gotta
the
do
right
is-
are like
yeah.
they're just
Another
like
member.
there's another person that likes us. Oh hey, cool, what's up, man? Because we're people on the right are just friendly
Big tent.
people. Big tent,
People on the
whatever.
right. Well, yeah, it's the big tent thing.
Yeah. God, I mean, if you're black and you claim it,
Oh,
holy
Jesus
shit.
Oh, man, yeah. I
Christ,
mean, you
man.
get away
Look
with
at the Hodge
anything.
twins.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the Hodge twins. I think I used to watch them back when they done their like workout videos and shit. But dude, they just samboed onto the scene and everybody fucking loves it.
It's like that Tyrus guy that's
Yeah.
on Crutchfeld and stuff like
The wrestler.
yeah, like
Yeah. Yeah.
he could do anything.
Anything.
He's probably gonna end up president of Fox News.
Yeah, I think Sir Cernovich is a Jewish gentleman, but somebody might call me anti-Semitic for saying that, so I better watch out, guys.
I don't know.
Just-
Does anyone do a
Man.
early life on Cernovich? Is it gonna say he was a chick before? I don't know.
I'm pretty positive he is a Jew.
You're just spitballing those, Cynic. You know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Was Jim, I mean, Mike disappointed it was small and shriveled instead of bigger? Good one, Fatty. I do like at that end of that last sentence there, Cynic.
Yeah.
He-
That looks
he
like a
basi-
guy that sucked the cock.
He was basically
Yeah.
blaming it on his drug use,
Yeah.
and he hasn't done drugs since. You're
Uh-huh,
such a hero,
uh-huh.
Mike.
Cocaine doesn't make you suck dick, people.
No, that's right. That's the insane. I've snorted coke, smoked weed, drank whiskey,
Oh,
not,
let me
never
tell you-
once.
Let me
He's
tell you a
from
secret
Kewanee,
about
Illinois.
cocaine if you've never done it before.
Oh boy.
If you drink while doing coke, you can't get drunk.
No
You're
wonder
not going to
he's-
get drunk.
That's devout Christians.
Can confirm.
Oh, he's a devout Christian, huh?
Yeah. He
That sucks
converted
cocks.
after he sucked
Yeah,
that dick.
I'm sure his fucking
Yeah.
his
Oy
priest.
vey.
proud to
Okay,
hear
see
that.
now here's the thing. This is a problem.
wanted to be
here,
one of those
Wikipedia, because
Jewish
Pizzagate
priests
was
that
proven
gave
true. The guy
Risk of the baby
Pizzagate
after
guy,
that,
Oh.
so he had to leave.
didn't the Pizzagate guy get caught with a bunch of child porn?
Yeah.
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 So
And this is confirmed, yeah.
so
That's the face of a dude who remembers sucking another dude's dick daily.
Dude, I know the town he's from. It's a little shithole town in Illinois. I mean, it's terrible. Place is so
I will
fucking
say-
poor.
As much as I'm on the Trump train and happy that he won, some of the people,
Uh-huh.
I don't know, like Hegseth and Matt Gates.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. They give me
Texas
it's
is
like
all
a
right.
gut-
Texas is all
gut
right. Matt
feeling.
Gates is all right.
I like Matt
All right.
Gates.
Yeah.
All right. I could vouch for Matt Gates.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he's good with you, Jim. He's good with me. Stand corrected.
But you said Pete's pretty good too, right?
Yeah, he's good.
I think he is. I think he's a little polished.
Chris
You know
Chris
what I'm
says
saying, Julio? He seems very well polished, so sometimes it can come off a little like. But
Yeah.
he's also. I think when he's not on camera, he's probably just a dude.
He looks like Beavis.
Isn't he an ex-military guy?
Who?
Pete.
Hegseth? Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
major.
Oh.
He's a major.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's-
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Chris says, I thought they said doing coke was a gateway drug to sucking cock.
So, well, I don't know. Anyway,
I think they got bigger plans for.
yeah, no,
kids.
Matt Gates got totally railroaded. They tried to use him because and fuck around, and this other guy who's a complete piece of shit basically tried to frame him as the guy that ran like in Florida. Was in charge of, like the Secretary of State's office, like the tax collector's office.
Mhm.
That's
That's
who handles
neat.
all the driver's licenses and stuff. The DMV is in Florida, and so this guy made fake ID. Like not, they were actually real IDs. So can't really call them a fake ID because it was actually the girl's picture and everything, and someone else's information. So it was like this whole thing, and for these girls, and then like taking around trying to get people to hook up with them. And
So does Gates still have his seat?
no, he resigned. I don't know what he's going to do. Well, actually, he's supposedly going to go. I think on One American News or something like that.
Oh, he's not gonna work for Trump?
Fuck.
I don't know.
Well,
Wait,
Matt Gates is
so like he gave
irrelevant.
up his position for a cabinet position, didn't get it, and now Trump doesn't have something lined up.
I don't
for
know
him?
why he didn't
Yeah,
just
now
go
he-
take the stick back into the Congress and be like, "Fuck you." What are you going to do?
Yeah,
Maybe
maybe he wants to run for senator.
maybe he's going to get appointed to senator
Yeah, I mean,
by Ron DeSantis. Could
Not if
happen.
he's-
I doubt it, but it could happen.
Yeah, I doubt it.
why? Why do you doubt it?
Listen, I'm just going to tell everyone now. You're going to be disappointed with Pam Bondi as Attorney General. She's not going to do any of the things that Matt Gates would have did.
I said that day one after I looked into her.
She
Oh,
was the
Bondi's
one
terrible.
she was
Yeah,
the one
yeah.
who assigned a special prosecutor in a completely blue liberal district with a fucking Soros prosecutor to go after George Zimmerman.
TPPT says, this is the ultimate question I always pose towards YouTubers that I never get a straight answer to. Question is, what if you were God and made yourself forget to see what it was like, to be?
Hold on.
Human.
Well, my
To be
answer
human.
would be,
To
how
be-
would you
To be human.
how would you feel if you did not have breakfast today?
Like a black kid. You fucking killed Julio.
What if you were God and made yourself forget what it was like to be human?
What? DeSantis made Ashley Moody to.
I would probably call myself a silly goose whenever I died and remembered I was God.
Dude, I like
Like when I showed up to
that's-
heaven and everybody was like, "Why were you down there so long?" I'd be like, "Oh, son of a bitch."
See, that's
I
going to
gotta
be
say,
a
though, I
problem.
don't-
If
I
he
don't-
did, is that serious? I got to look that up.
I don't really like think of myself like as human. I'm just you know what I mean? I know I'm human.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's just not like
You don't think about your actual
humanity.
humanity. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
man,
You're
that
sentient.
is
Like you don't think about
fucking
that. Yeah.
Stupid.
I mean, if it's true, I mean, if
She is
that,
not going to be. She's not going to be able to hold on to that seat.
what he appointed a senator.
Yeah, she's not going to be able to hold on to that seat.
DeSantis is
she?
fucking up a lot too, right?
Ashley Moody, some DeSantis fucking acolyte from Florida, but not. You can't. It needed to be. It needed to be like a Byron Donalds or Gates. It needed to be somebody that could. The
Run a
Cubans are not
campaign?
going to. The Cubans are not going to support Ashley Moody.
Yeah,
Is she a bad
DeSantis
person?
is fucking up, dog.
Huh?
You're right.
Is she a bad person?
No, she's just not.
She's just a nobody.
She's just a nobody. She's a
Yeah.
nobody. She didn't do shit. She didn't do any of the stuff she was supposed to do as far as with the guns and stuff and the red flag laws in Florida and all this different shit and the weed. She was supposed to get, all the different shit she was supposed to take care of. She didn't do any of it. She done nothing.
They haven't got rid of the red flag laws in Florida yet.
Yeah, I agree with you, TPPT. I think the only straight answer I could give you is like once I did like die as a human and go back to heaven, I would feel really retarded because I like Dave said, I don't think about my sentience on a daily basis.
And I don't. I guess.
I mean, look,
mean-
sometimes I do things and I'm like, yeah, you are a god. Look how good you did that. That was great. But very, very few and far between.
Like this fucking image on my screen. Did you
What are
say?
you talking
"Man, that was
about?
a
I've got my
godlike move"?
camera on.
You said that was a godlike move when I made it. No,
That was pretty good, right?
That was
It
quick as fuck. I thought Dan Blackroad was fast. But
Oh.
no, I another thing is I don't go to church, right? I believe in God, but I don't go to church and get reminded all the time about it.
Uh-huh.
So that's another reason I don't think about God all that
Yeah.
often. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just
Well, as a guy who grew up in the church and as a guy who still does attend church and has some pretty, theological conversations on a regular basis with people that I'm,
sure.
that I know. That question, I have to take the Christianity out of it because God is so omnipotent and
I
omniscient
still
that
can't
he
get over
wouldn't
this.
make
DeSantis
himself
fucking seat himself.
be able to forget. You get what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
can't wrap your little monkey brain around how big God truly is. He is everything and anything,
Everywhere. Yeah.
everywhere and nowhere, all at once.
Yep.
So
And every
Crazy Cat's right. I do have sex exactly like Patrick Bateman from American Psycho.
You remember that thing earlier where they said about the that
I thought
video
you
we
were
watched,
saying you
that
had
woman?
sex like Cernovich.
No, talking about
Oh no.
Oh, what an asshole.
What the hell is this, Jim?
This is
pedophiles.
flowers for pedophiles.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, they're beautiful. I think
Can
they
we
also
send
have
some out to people?
Sure.
Are these
Yes.
are these
Yeah, they have fast delivery.
really?
What about
Yes.
pedo apologists?
Same thing.
Okay, good. I know a guy who deserves one.
I just saw a chick defend one, and she's a fucking scholar or whatever they want to
Yeah.
give her
Yeah.
a title.
Do you know
of.
what pissed me off about that video, Dave, that you're talking about with the girl?
Yeah.
This trainees ruin everything. Because I looked at her, I'm like, the first thing I thought is, okay, she's a maniac.
Oh yeah.
Second thing, I'm like, she's kind of cute.
Maniac,
And then the third thing I thought was,
maniac.
wait a minute, is that a girl? It's
I know.
I'm
Right.
like, that could be a dude. I don't know.
See, it's always white women that ruin everything, though, dude.
I agree, 100%.
Fucking
Yeah, they are the
stupid.
most dangerous creature.
They have
in
way
modern
too much
society.
fucking time on their hands,
Did
man.
you guys see the video of the Starship debris over the Turks and Caicos today?
No.
What?
Oh, I
What
heard it, you
Starship?
broke up for a second. It sounded like the Starship with a burrito over Caicos.
Over the Turks and Caicos. This is the Starship that one of Elon Musk's rockets blew up.
Ha
Oh,
ha,
it did?
nerd.
Wow.
It was unmanned, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was like I think it was a re-entry thing or something.
That one didn't make it.
That one didn't make it.
He has
Womp
pretty good
womp.
luck though with those. He's the first guy ever that made one that re-enters and lands, right?
Yeah, they capture it like a. Oh, David Lynch committed suicide. A threat. Spent stuff.
Really? I know he died today. I didn't know. Is this fake news or?
What?
Sven though. I like Sven.
Yeah, Sven
Huh.
Stoffels is pretty based.
Yes, definitely based. See, he follows me. Based.
Yeah, I follow you too.
Yeah, well, you're an idiot.
That's what I was about to say. Thank you.
Wow. That escalated.
Yeah, Jim's been like ever since he came in.
Oh, what's this?
yesterday-
Oh, what's this? Wait, what's this? Hold on.
He came into Ruby's and my stream yesterday as I was trying to give lore, and just was like had dick all in his mouth. It was just like sweeping so hard for dick, just talking about how much. he loved dick. And ever since then, he's just been pissy with me.
Hmm.
Well, you know what? Says, footage has been obtained of an election worker in Orange County, California, counting the same large stack of ballots 3 times on the evening of November 8th. Republicans lost a House seat in Orange County a month after the election, by the way. We don't know if there's a legitimate reason for the worker's action, but the worker pushed the same batch through the machine 3 times. The real shocker of this entire episode, caught on video, is that this all occurred after Orange County received a bomb threat and before the workers were removed from the ballot counting facility. See, like this, all this stuff needs to be investigated. You know what I mean? This stuff like this needs to be investigated.
Okay. Can you pause it, Jim?
Sure.
Why do they need to do anything with these ballots after we've already put them in the machine ourselves?
This is
When we
not.
vote.
These don't. This is different. Wherever this is, they don't have the machines. These are ballots that they put the circle in there by hand and send
So
them
these are
in.
mail-in ballots or something?
These are mail-in ballots, or even the ballots at the mail-in ballots at, or they could be ballots at the day of or whatever. Like it doesn't matter. They're just you fill in the circle and they get scanned through a machine like a Scantron.
Why? I know, but
I don't like the
but
electronic
but you
machines
put
at
it
all.
in the machine. I'm saying I fill out mine with paper in Illinois, and then I go to the machine with the lady watching me, and I insert it in the machine, and I never see it again. Why is another person?
Oh, that's so that they could rob you in Illinois because then they can do whatever they want with those numbers.
I think it's more secure than this shit.
All right, well, watch. Let's see what happens. That's weird, right?
I'm sure they're going to say, "Oh, it is a 3-step process or something." You know what I'm saying, Julio? They're going to come up with some excuse. Now,
Which may be true.
Well, I would like to see like the whole day's video and see if they keep doing it the same way on every batch, Jim. Because then it's, or at least a 10-minute span or something. I mean, just who knows?
I don't doubt that there is election fraud for sure,
Oh yes, for sure.
but you also have to be careful to not, in your mind, need to make it so there is election fraud. So even if there's proof against it, you keep going.
Well, you got to vote.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
and at some point, you got to.
No, you still had to vote. I mean, they can't cheat that much. If enough
No,
people
I'm saying
vote, they can't.
People
cheat
want things to be true so much that it doesn't matter what the evidence on the other side says.
Oh yeah, I get that.
Well,
too.
I mean,
Sure.
I know that they cheated in 2020.
Yeah,
I'm not doubting it. I mean, my
I
gut
think
tells
they
me
tried
that's
to
true.
cheat. I think they tried to cheat in 2016.
Look at this guy says, this guy flat out true says Musk has attempted to breach the firmament again, but the rocket completely broke apart on impact.
God wait.
Weirdo.
Good, it's about to fall on top of us.
It's about to fall- no, it's
Burn
not.
it up.
It's going away from you.
Not even close.
Yeah, and it's gonna be so minuscule by the time it hits ground, nothing's gonna. It's just gonna be a.
I don't know. Some of them
Dust.
pieces look like they might be pretty big.
They look pretty big and they're pretty close to Earth.
Yeah.
But that could be an
That's
illusion.
crazy. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
So many colors, Julio.
Yeah.
Looks cool.
Does look cool.
That's wild, man.
Yeah, I would hope a piece hit me and like injured me, not bad enough to like
Yeah. I got
kill me or mangle me permanently, but enough to where I could be like, hey, Elon, we'll need a cyber truck and one of them trailers.
And a
With the
rocket.
batteries.
You
and
one of
the
them
solar
rockets.
panels. Yes.
Yeah, I need one of them trailers with all the batteries and solar panels and about 20 grand cash.
Oh, well, here we go. We got to watch this now.
Cynic, I like that Elon Musk is going to give you money. You asked for 20 grand.
I know.
That's all I need. After I
That's
got all
all-
that other stuff, that's all I would need. That's
fair.
the selling point. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's like, only 20 grand? Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Good.
He's not going to think about the other
What
stuff.
is this guy talking about, Jim?
This guy's going to tell us what that rocket hit.
Oh.
Oh no.
Okay.
The
Okay,
firmament.
this is where it really started getting crazy for me.
This old guy.
Isaiah, Peter, John, and Yeshua himself, Son of
Yeshua.
God, Jesus Christ. All four of these guys. These are four pretty big heavy hitters in Scripture, wouldn't you say? Isaiah, Yeshua, Peter, John. All four of these guys said all the stars are going to fall to earth. All the stars are going to fall to earth. I mean, we got many scriptures talking about it. So, guys, are you still taking the Bible literally? We agreed at the beginning we should. If you still think we should take the Bible literally, you got Yeshua, the Son of God, Jesus Christ himself, Isaiah, Peter, and John telling you all this.
All right. But I will say this to this guy. They called things that fell to earth meteorites, meteors, meteorites, something. They called them shooting stars.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So that's what they're saying. Like they were called shooting stars for millennium.
Yeah.
So when they saying shooting,
Yeah, we still call them shooting stars, right?
yeah, I'm saying. So what they're saying, like, oh, they're all going to fall to earth. Shit's going to fall.
The stars are going to fall to earth.
But then that's assuming that we're the center of the,
Put that in
of the
perspective.
galaxy, right? Because it would come
That's
back
just
to
one
the
galaxy.
core. Yeah,
Isn't that what the Nazis called it
We've got
too?
pictures
Shooting
like this.
stars.
right.
All the stars are going to fall to earth. If that's true, we got bigger problems than terrorism and the Antichrist.
No, we don't.
If
'cause they're
Andromeda's
real
heading
now-
our
right
way,
now.
it's going to be a bad day. So somebody's wrong here.
I hate people
Isaiah,
in
Yeshua,
general. I think
Peter,
I'm just trying to-
John, all said all the stars
hate
are
people?
going to fall.
in general,
Yeah.
just continue
Carl
to
Sagan, Neil
disappoint me.
deGrasse Tyson, all these other guys.
So this guy's saying, so somebody is wrong here, and he doesn't realize that it's him that's wrong.
Right.
But he's got God on his side, Jim.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, I agree with Jimothy on this one.
Well, he thinks he does,
Yeah.
right?
Because he's going to
Yeah,
say
yeah, he-
because they're wrong about all the stars falling to the earth, that means they're wrong about the stars actually being stars up in the sky. And it's actually a fucking piece of plexiglass with a flashlight above it.
Oh, is that where he's going to go with this?
Michio Kaku say these are spinning galaxies with billions and billions of stars, all with planets going around them, are coming to Earth. Someone's lying. I don't know about you, but I'm not prepared.
His
to say
Sideburn
that it's
game's
Isaiah,
pretty good,
Yeshua,
though.
Peter, or John. It's kind of poetic.
He's
that
got
I'm
that
having this
Ricky
talk
Bobby
here in a
Sideburn.
venue called
Yeah,
Milton.
right.
God's got a sense of humor. Yeah, in 2017 at that. Wow. And when they asked me to come and talk about this, I'm going, really? Yeah, I was content in my little cubicle making YouTube videos.
Ah,
Well, I mean, I'm one of
This
those
guy.
that have built my life on saying that my Bible is my source for truth, that it was Holy Spirit inspired authors who wrote it, and that I can trust
I don't know. It's just some guy who posted
Well,
a thing about
I found myself in a
Elon's
lot of
rocket
trouble when I
and
did that. When I started
Here's my
doing this.
video explaining why.
You know, and you look into Edwin Hubble, and you read some of his quotes, and he talks about the idea that we could be the center of attention, the Earth. That he would use words like horror at the prospect that we could be that important. So it was inconceivable in his mind. So as a result, he has a preconceived notion. I can't believe that. So I've got to come up with something else. So he starts looking at blurry dots through his telescope and spiral-looking things through the telescope that used to be called nebula. And he applied the word galaxy to it. Anybody know what the word galaxy means? It means Milky Way. That's what galaxy means, Milky Way. So when we say the Milky Way galaxy, we're really being kind of redundant. It's the Milky Way, Milky Way. It's really milky.
Yeah.
So he looks at all those other
DC
things
comics.
and says,
Yeah.
okay, that's spiral. And I see this
What
thing
the
over here,
fuck?
the word to those spiral things. So those are galaxies. So then he says that we must be in one too.
That
And
happens
then
all the
shortly
time.
after that, we have textbooks that I saw when I was in school that show the Milky Way spiral galaxy with a spiral arm and a square over one corner of it and a little dot. It says, you are here. And I raised my hand and said, who took that picture? I mean, they have to be on Andromeda to take that picture. But yet they have the audacity to pass that off like they actually know what they're talking about. They don't say theory. They say, this is a fact. You are here. We're on this wing, this arm of the spiral galaxy known as the Milky Way. You are here. No proof, no evidence, nothing. And Hubble's looking out there and he's like, okay, so red, I see red stars. Well, we know that color frequencies have different wavelengths, right? Blue has a tighter wavelength and red has a longer one. So if we're seeing it and it's red, that means it's really blue, but by the time the light is reaching us, it has red shifted into the color spectrum of red, and that's why we see it that way. So he starts with the
Okay.
preconceived notion that that speck of light that's red, and he says it's 14 light years away, is really blue, but we're seeing it red because it's so far away. I'm like, wait a minute. You just said that thing's 14 light years away. How the heck do you know what color it is? What if
What
it's
does
just
it
red?
matter?
I see green lights right there, a blue one, red one, yellow. What if it's just red? You see the assumptions that they start to make? Then they write it off
Technically,
as fact,
everything's
and they
black
pass it
and
off to
white.
us. And we read it in school. We just, well, smart people said it, so it must be true. Because I tell you what, if Isaiah, Yeshua, Peter, and John are right, they're not billions of light years away, and they're not huge. Start looking into that. If we look at the sun, let's say it's about this big
Don't do that.
from our perspective.
not
Right?
good
So
for
we're gonna
your
say the
eyes.
sun is 93 million miles away, right? Okay, let's double the distance. What happens to the size? You half the size, right? Let's keep doing that
Okay.
until our sun looks the same size as all the other stars that we see. You
Okay.
basically end up at the distance of Pluto, according to that model.
Okay.
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 And then they say, well, look at all those other stars. They're so far away. If we're only at the distance of Pluto from our sun, and our sun looks like a star, just like all the other ones, then those other stars that are the same size that our sun looks like from Pluto, those suns must obviously be way bigger.
Yeah.
So how
Some
many
of
of you
them
seen the
are.
pictures of here's Earth, here's
Yeah.
Progress, and Beetlejuice? Do you see how they're backwards engineering this? And then they'll say
No.
that the North Star, because the
No.
North Star doesn't have perceived parallax. You know what parallax is? Motion parallax. When you're driving in your car and the trees are right on the side of the road are whipping by, but the mountains in the distance are barely moving at all, right? It's motion parallax. Well, we see other things zipping by and stuff like that, but we look at objects like the North Star, and it doesn't really appear to be moving. So therefore, it must be really far away because there's not much perceived parallax. But if it's really far away and it's supposedly 300, I think, light years away, if you do the math out on that, I think a light year is like 6 trillion miles, I forget. And you figure that out, how far away do you believe you actually see something that far away?
Yes.
It's the light,
Really?
you dick. We're not seeing the
And how
star.
big does that thing have to be at 300 light years away
It's oh my
for me to
God.
be able to see it? So you start thinking this way, you're like, why did I believe half the things that they're telling me?
Who
I
cares?
think a lot of people are starting to scratch their heads.
If it's
Now it's the same question.
I see it. I don't give a fuck
Judges,
how
chapter
far
5.
away it is, you
What are stars?
retard.
Maybe you
No,
don't see
if-
it.
If they're not, oh, by the way, it says that God created the sun.
No.
And when you wrote about stars, you get one little half a sentence. And he created the stars also.
Have you ever taken acid?
Yes.
It's a little
Oh.
anticlimactic if the
Did-
stars
You
are
know
really
what
what we're
stars
doing.
look like on acid?
Yeah, and he created the stars too. Yeah.
Stars on acid to me.
Have you
just
ever
look-
tried to
You'll
run
notice they're two
through a
separate
wall
things.
on acid?
Created the sun and the stars.
I've
Which means the
never
sun is not a
tried
star,
to
the
do
stars are not the same.
that. No.
No, I had a friend.
But in what
run
we're
through a
told,
It doesn't
sliding
they're
work.
one and the same.
I had a
Our sun
friend
is
who
just a
was high
star,
one night and he
right?
ran through his
All the
sliding
stars, the
glass
sun, the planets
door.
going around them.
at
And they're
his
telling us
dad's
that we're
house.
seeing
I mean, he
Earth
just ran right through the
2.0
motherfucker.
out
Didn't
there
get
in
hurt.
Kepler, right?
He
Look
did
at how
one of
far
these
away they say those.
Julio.
I think it was like, I forget what it was. Whatever it
I
was.
I can't
they
hear
were
you.
out on,
I
like,
can't hear what you're saying.
do you really believe we can see that far?
I said I had a friend who ran through his sliding
What
glass
are the
door
stars? Well, you see,
at a party at his
shit.
house one night. He wasn't hurt because he was drunk and high, right? He just turned around and looked at the glass and goes, "Ah, shit."
Nice.
Whoops.
Yeah. Well, guess what? His dad
Whoa.
wasn't happy.
This is breaking news. This is the most important thing I've heard all night. At the end of February, Steak and Shake going back to beef tallow instead of seed oil.
What?
We've won.
We've won.
Won. Well, now I got to go to Steak
We
and
need
Shake.
McDonald's to go back to tallow and go back to putting beef juice in their fries.
They were so good.
Yeah, there's like no steak and shakes left. in
And
Alabama
Dave's
anymore.
friend's name was Mike Cernovich.
See,
No, his name was Mark.
and that's the rest of the story. I'm Paul Harvey. Good night.
I'm
Marriott
Paul
Hotel,
Julio.
Marriott Hotel hallway
Good night.
carpets are pretty freaky when you're tripping.
Yeah.
I could see that. The patterns are fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
Well, this is
sense.
the guy. His name is Flat Out Truth, Flat Earther. Oh, well, I can show this then.
His fucking head's flat.
I don't know.
Is that guy a flat earther?
Yeah. that's
Well,
what
his
he-
handle is on Twitter is the Flat
Flat.
Earther.
Oh, no wonder he was trying to
That's
say
it.
all this nonsense. Okay.
You know, Flat Out Truth, Hidden Wisdom.
I like the video. That guy was entertaining.
Sure.
I mean, it would take him 30 seconds on Google to figure out where he's wrong, but would want him to do that.
he would just actually himself to death sitting there in his office.
Oh, here's a cool one.
St. Peter's like, you're a retard. You're not going to heaven.
Nobody who
That's
really
basically
thinks
it,
the
yeah.
oceans are rising would own a $12 million mansion on the ocean. I mean, let's just look at the Roman tidal baths on Malta. They're still at sea level after thousands of years. Huh. I mean, the Romans built these baths right on the ocean level thousands of years ago. Still there at ocean level. Here's about 140 years in the same exact spot. Yeah, another Trojan horse we have with climate change. In my opinion, obviously climate changes. That's what happens. There are seasons. But basically what they're trying to do is show you like, hey, let's have electric vehicles. Let's have no gas emissions. Let's do all this shit. Disguising something that is bad as something good. How do you think they power electric cars, bro? They're telling you to use paper straws, but they're flying their private jet all around the world. They're making you buy the plastic bags at the checkout, but everything in the whole store is covered in plastic. Just another way to fearmonger and get everyone to comply. Have you guys ever been golfing and the golf cart like turned off because you got too close to the green? Why would a Tesla or why would an electric car be not subject to that exact same thing? Oh, you're a bad person. You can't leave your 15-minute city. Turn off your car. If the WEF is promoting it, you probably shouldn't want to do it. Anyway, free Zoom
Whoa.
call July 28th. Be there. How to make money on TikTok.
I
Good
love
for
it. I
him.
love the dude bro
Yeah, the
like,
base
dropping
dude
science
bro.
TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I just heard
Like
Tim
he's just
Pool
smoked-
say. I just heard Tim Pool say that guys like that don't exist. They're all swayed by their indoctrination.
Isn't TikTok going away this weekend or something? I thought I read something about that. Or they're shutting down U.S. operations of TikTok or something. No,
Is that right?
I don't know. I thought I saw that. Maybe I'm fucking high. I don't know.
Were you ball tripping last night? Did you have
No.
did you have a small penis in your mouth?
No.
Oh,
All right, go ahead, Dave.
Not at first. He fought it off for a long time.
I'm so.
Reuters says TikTok prepares to shut down app in U.S. on Sunday.
What a shocker. Question me.
Oh, well, I didn't question you.
I'm
asked the
kidding,
question.
kidding.
So the Supreme Court announced Thursday it might issue opinions Friday morning, potentially meaning a ruling on the law forcing TikTok sale or ban in the U.S. Could soon be issued as the app faces a looming ban on January 19th.
Yep.
I heard Mr. Beast is trying to get money together to buy it.
They're not going to sell it though.
Yeah,
No, they're
That's-
they're going to have to sell it if they want to.
China's not going to sell it though. It's already been offered to be purchased several times, and they said no. All these people are
China
leaving.
pulled some kind of shit. I saw something where there was some new app that had some weird name.
It's
that
called
they're
Red
basically-
Note.
Yeah, they're just trying to basically call it something else under a new company. It's the same
Yeah, it's
exact
called
thing.
Red Note. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. All these.
I mean,
people are
calling it Red Note, that's a bit on the nose.
Well, it's
Put the
not
name-
based in America. You can just get it in America.
I'm just saying the word red.
Yeah. No, it's
China.
definitely a communist party.
the fucking Biden administration is trying to figure out how they can prevent TikTok from being banned. Dude, you're leaving the fucking office this weekend. What are you talking about?
He signed the fucking law. They
Yeah,
passed the law,
personally,
and
it
Biden
shouldn't be
signed the
banned.
fucking law to do it.
Now he's trying to save it.
Trump should overturn it. That'd be big for the younger
Oh, the
generation.
fucking Zoomers would vote for him for the
Yeah.
rest of their fucking lives, even though
Yep.
he's not going to run again. They would just be like, "Hell, King Trump,
If he banned TikTok,
inaugurate him for life."
No, if Biden bans it and then Trump gets in and signs an
Oh.
executive order to reinstate TikTok,
Yeah.
all the cynics and all the Zoomers will be, he's our guy now.
I mean, a lot of people make money off that fucking app, man.
My kids are all about Instagram. I don't think they every
They're
time they show me stuff, it's Instagram Reels, stuff like that.
yeah, but Instagram Reels are usually just recycled TikTok Reels.
Ah, gotcha.
Like all the reels you see, all the shorts you see on Twitter, pay attention. About 98% of them are TikTok.
All right.
Be right back, fellas.
TikTok. I've never had that app on my phone.
It's the same thing. What did it used to be called? Jim, do you remember what's the old app where you can only do like 7-second videos? Vine?
Vine, yeah. But actually,
But it's like
Elon
more
owns
time.
Vine. Elon owns Vine. Elon owns Periscope.
No shit.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
Twitter bought those
Yeah.
Oh.
before
And
Elon
is-
bought Twitter. So he was talking about rolling it all back out.
Or making
And
something-
Instagram, Facebook, right? That Zuckerberg didn't.
Yeah, Instagram is
buy
Facebook.
Instagram?
Yeah, they have way too many platforms that they just keep making ad revenue off every fucking. Just think about the ad revenue they generate that they never even pay people that make content on their platforms for.
Mm.
So, not good, man. Not good.
I thought we were going to watch that video.
It's an hour long, dude.
Oh,
You don't want
okay.
to watch weather from the 80s for an hour. Now, what we can do, what I will do is we'll start it and see what it sounds like. And if it's stupid, we'll just turn it off. How about that? That seems to work.
Good plan.
We seem to be pretty good judges of what's good and bad.
I don't know about that, but sure.
RJ Reynolds.
Subject for this evening is Soviet weather engineering over North America, which they have been doing since the beginning of 1966, 1967. That was the first shot.
Whoa.
Our attempt at influencing the weather directly over the United States. They then lapsed into a lot of not influencing it for a period of years, and in 1983 particularly really opened up the big guns after having energized the infamous woodpecker signals, the so-called over-the-horizon radars, in the communication band in the mid-1970s.
Woodpecker signals. What the hell is that,
Yeah,
Jim?
It's infamous, apparently.
The first thing I'm going to have to tell you is that
Some
there
stuff
are
they were
three
picking
kinds
up
of
that they didn't know what it
electromagnetics, and
was.
only one is being used today in the Western world. The first kind is the kind we all study as electrical engineers, and even us nuclear engineers study a little bit of it. And it's classical electromagnetics. The foundations of that go back before the Civil War. It's quite old, and there are serious flaws and many errors in it.
I do like the old
as is
school
quite
overhead
well known
projector
in
aesthetic.
circles.
Yeah.
Aesthetic with this.
The second
I used to
kind,
really like
first of
the,
all, let me
Ditto
characterize
machines.
the first kind of electromagnetics.
Oh yeah, yep.
Everything is due to the
Used to
force
call them
field,
dittos, right?
Yep.
You call them
the
copies.
so-called
Yeah,
electric
there's the
field,
ditto.
magnetic field. If that reduces to zero in an area, you don't have any more electromagnetics going on in there. The potentials themselves are considered to be mathematical figments. Now, I'm going to be giving you a little background. I'm going real fast through it, but you'll need this to understand what I'm talking about in the weather engineering and understand it. So please bear with me during the first part. We're going to have a little quick sledding. The second kind of electromagnetics came
I
from
don't
quantum
think you talk
mechanics,
quick
and
at
it's
all, dude.
exactly opposed. The primary and real things are the potentials, and the force fields, so-called, are totally derived by differentiating operations. So you see a flip-flop of 180 degrees about how the two approaches regard electromagnetics. Further, in quantum mechanics, when the electric field and the magnetic field reduce to zero in an area, you still may have the potentials. And if these potentials, which are the real things going on, interfere with each other, you can have real effects still produced in charged particle systems, real physical systems. As a matter of fact, in 1959, a classic paper by Aronoff and Bohm in Physical Review pointed this out very strongly, and since then, part of that has come to be called the Bohm-Aronoff effect, or sometimes the Aronoff-Bohm effect. It had been in physics 30 years at that point, pointed out by Richard Feynman, the Nobel Prize winner, and ignored. It has continued to be ignored in the nearly 30 years since 1959, when it was strongly pointed out by Bohm and Aronoff. What we are saying, ladies and gentlemen, is if we can make this effect exist in the big world, they think it exists only in the micro world, we can get action at a distance, that's no longer a dirty word, and we can get action even when there's no ordinary electromagnetics going on. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And in the process, I'm going to show you how to change the mass and inertia of an object, affect its rate of flow through time, affect the gravitational field, and so forth. Now, the third kind of electromagnetics is the mechanism by means of which you do those things. In other words, you reduce the ordinary electromagnetics to zero, the electric field and magnetic field, deliberately. You do this by making a zero system. You oppose the vectors so that they sum to zero, but they are still there in the substructure. Hey, when we studied electromagnetics, they forgot to tell us that a zero vector was not nothing. It can be a system of very active forces, each of which is time varying, and yet the system will not be detectable by any ordinary instrument. It turned out that the unorthodox scientific community in the United States had been using this for some years, but not expressing it quite that succinctly. For example, the Hooper patents. What we are saying now is that if we do this, if we make deliberate zeros, but we make them with vectors which are still there and active, we have a new kind of electromagnetics, a third kind, and I have dubbed that scalar electromagnetics, and I hope the reason for the name will become clear a little later. I won't bother to read that thing. We simply have a zero vector envelope, but it's the substructure that we have placed within a zero that is fantastic. In terms of modern physics, we have reached into the virtual world what happens before physical change occurs, and we now can deliberately engineer it. Let me say that again in case it went by you.
What?
With
Yeah,
this
just
simple
about 100
mechanism,
more
with
times
few
should be
coils
done.
and transistors and so forth, by making deliberate zeros,
Okay.
we can deliberately engineer the Schrodinger equation, and we can deliberately affect the probabilities of quantum mechanics. The hidden variable theory now becomes directly engineerable in all the implications of what I have said. What had been statistical before now becomes at least partly deterministic. I'm going to jump now a whole bunch of years. In 1921, at the instigation or recommendation of Albert Einstein, a man by the name of Kaluza published a paper where he had successfully united electrical field and gravitational field in a common unified theory. To do that, he had to add another physical dimension, and a very strange thing emerged. There's really only one field in nature if you're looking at that hyperspace. It is the 5-dimensional gravitational field, and it intersects our world in two things. One thing we call the electromagnetic field, and the other thing we call the gravitational field in the general sense, general relativity, the ability to curve and warp and twist space-time itself. And by the way, the electromagnetics just turned out to be the 5th dimensional aspect of that. So we added one more space dimension, which we do not see. Klein, a few years later, explained what happened to that dimension. It's really rolled up around every little point in our space. Quite nice mathematically, and it's real, by the way. But the theory languished for many years until really about the early to mid-70s.
I mean, this is all
and the new
legit
symmetries in the
science,
forefront
what
of
he's
physics and
talking
particle
about, so it's
physics
not like wacky woo-woo
began
shit.
to see that with that type of geometry, you could get
Yeah,
in all these weird
but
particles.
it sounds
and you
like
could get in all
woo-woo,
forces.
even though it's
You really
legit.
could begin to approach a new
Yeah,
theory
yeah.
of all forces of nature. And
Well,
this
it's
became very
considered
exciting.
legit. It may be
The
woo-woo,
modern
but
theory, a
I
variant of
know.
that theory,
This is what's been
Kaluza-Klein
written in the
Kaluza-Klein
books,
theory,
right?
fifth
So that's
dimension,
legit.
gravity.
all but
That's
the
all.
3 ordinary space dimensions we see
Legit.
are considered to be rolled up in little circles around every point. But with that thing and supergravity, you can get in all of the particles and everything we know into physics in a single unified theory. And the physicists are excited. That's the hottest thing in physics. They just haven't discovered yet that it is directly engineerable in the simplest fashion you ever dreamed of. I'm going to give you a very simple thing now to let you understand what I'm talking about. This is schematic, so don't think of the thing as being spatially separated between the two little circles on the plane.
Okay.
The plane represents our ordinary world. The hand represents an extra dimension, so it's that 5th dimensional geometry that Kaluza came up with in 1921.
Okay.
The hand itself represents that 5th dimensional gravitational field, which intersects our world in two fashions. One electromagnetic, shown by the forefinger extended, that intersection, and the other by the thumb, which is our gravitational field, as we see it in the little intersections. And both of the intersections, by the way, are at the same point. They are not spatially separated.
Right.
Normally, we don't make vector zeros. Nobody ever trained us to do that in electromagnetics. There is not a single textbook, either physics or electromagnetics, in the United States of America or in the Western
Dave,
world.
I've read so much
you do
stuff about
when you
this.
deliberately
I'm
make
fascinated by science and physics and stuff. I'm just not smart enough to grasp it.
Yeah.
So I'll read it. I'm like, I think I get it, and then it just goes away.
It's like, oh, light bulb went off.
All right,
went
it goes on
and then it goes, oh.
Exactly.
Shit. Yeah. That's how I felt about algebra in high school. Fuck.
Yeah.
such vector zeros. I'm almost willing to state that probably not a single orthodox physicist has made such an experiment. If they are, it will be only one or two of them. But notice what we do if we deliberately zero the electromagnetic intersection, which is what we're doing when we make the zero. But we control what goes into the zero. We can put energy in there, or we can take the energy out. When we do that, it's coming in and out of the thumb as gravitational energy, directly as curvature of space-time. Now, what have we said? We have said that rigorously, with that simple mechanism, I can provide the direct conversion of electromagnetic energy into gravitational field energy, or vice versa. Now, if you want to do anti-gravity, gentlemen, there it is. And the unorthodox researchers have been doing anti-gravity a little bit in this country for a period of years, like levitating 65 pounds, like plywood, which is not magnetic field. So with a very simple thing.
He said they levitated 65 pounds, Jim. Did he just say that?
Yeah. Haven't you heard of the Coral Castle?
That was 65 tons.
That's my point.
And looking at it through modern eyes, and adding that single thing, we can now use electromagnetics to make gravitational field energy in the general sense, or vice versa. We can warp, engineer, and twist space-time at will, as we wish, in whatever pattern we wish.
Why aren't
and it's
we?
been in the literature, if you cared to notice, since 1921.
Now he's gone off the deep end.
I won't dwell on this. I will simply state that all that a mass is anyway a particle of mass.
Julio, how do you
is in
feel
fact
about
a
Nikola
trapped scalar
Tesla
resonance. I'm going to give you a quick once over about
using the
scalar
Earth
resonance
as
and move on. Take a normal resonance system with a wave moving back and
basically
forth in the cavity
electrical
so
wire?
that it's in phase and coherent.
Pretty
Suppose
damn
there were two
smart.
waves moving along together, but the second wave,
Well,
the electric and
I
magnetic
mean,
field were 180 out, and the first
The
one
general
back together in the
consensus
system.
is
Your
he was an
normal instrument won't even see it.
underappreciated
With zero
genius.
special
He
detectors
came up
and
with a lot of
that will
shit.
see it.
He didn't get
That's all mass
credit
is,
for,
but you can make a current
and
of
that's
that kind of
better than what
resonance.
Edison
And
and
you
all
can
those.
pipe that current down a wire, or you
Yeah.
can add to that resonance
He was
system, or
also
you can take it away.
full of
What
shit
did I say?
on
I
some
said you can
stuff.
pump the mass and inertia directly into
No.
an object and increase it,
Tesla
or you
was.
can pump it out of there. And if you pump all of it
No.
out there, it'll
I
dematerialize on you.
think, I think he was like a
And the
crazy
statements I am
genius
making
that was so
are based
far
on
out
fact.
in left field that nobody took him
Evidence in the
seriously,
laboratory.
even though he did come up with some
Proprietary laboratories.
Tesla coil, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, the scalar wave, that is the wave that has a zero resultant for the electric field and a zero resultant for the magnetic field, but it's composed of components which are waving and moving and communicating and everything else, is the universal wave in the universe.
But
Totally undiscovered as yet in Western science.
Who is he
Maybe
talking
10
to?
cents on
What's
the web.
what's
You
his
can go
audience?
very simply
It
with
was
scalar
just
radar.
Jim in the crowd in
These waves come from and
1970.
go to the vectors. They go right through the Faraday
1985.
cage.
No wonder there's no
Unless
reaction to what
you
he's
have the
saying.
most extreme
Yeah.
nonlinear
Well, no,
situation
because
you've
he's
ever heard
listening
of.
to his AM
They don't
fucking
move
radio with his
Jim's
little
got like
Little
a
little
Farrah
headphone.
Fawcett haircut with a
ocean.
half mullet in the
You'll never
back,
hear signals
and one of those
using this
huge
technique. As we sit here talking, the
RCA
Soviet Union is
cameras.
communicating worldwide.
Where's
As of
Dan
10 days
Blackbird
ago,
when
they
you
were
need him?
communicating on well
Right.
over 37 frequencies. In their command and control systems for the large weapons
Look at
systems
those
they built for strategic
graphics.
weapons in this fashion.
Speaking to May
I have a
85.
personal friend that can deliver on the shelf the communication system.
Dave, there is something a little comfy
that will prove that statement.
For
I challenge
like
anybody
age
in the United
watching
States
like
outside of him at
240
the present time
VHS
to measure that
tapes.
communication system.
Graphics just
These
reminds
are
me
nuclear waves.
like
They
nostalgia.
communicate between nuclei.
Yeah.
And if you put in that substructure
This
the
is when
correct
you
pattern, you
were
can go ahead
falling
and
asleep in
transmute elements.
class.
In modern physics, to make
Oh,
a
shit.
proton a neutron or
Yeah.
vice versa, all you got to do is flip one quark. And that is simply a
I just
pattern
want to see
in the substructure.
if he's got
The man was
anything
nominated for the
talking
Nobel
about the
Prize
fucking
in
weather.
1977 for proving that biological systems
All right, here we go.
transmute vectors unless you dump it somewhere. So you switch the projector into the transmit
Seems
mode,
like
you catch
the
it and
type
hold
of
it in a
guy
storage
who
bank
thinks
temporarily,
having
and then you fire it
missionary
off somewhere
sex
where
is
it won't do any
dirty.
harm, like Bennett Island. Here is an exhaust that is 150 miles long, seen by our weather satellites from a site that repeatedly exhibits these, almost 100 now that we've seen. This particular exhaust is about a little over 1 degree above the horizontal. Now,
I think what he's getting at is you can manipulate space and time
From
to
the
the
same
point
island,
where you can
we see double
create.
puffs indicating the
You can
interferometer
see the
transmitters. We see
weather
multiple
and all that
puffs
shit.
within them sometimes.
Yeah.
And in fact, the satellites have even from time to
Manipulate
time
matter.
caught the actual burst, showing that it's an explosive beginning of the exhaust.
Yeah.
These are weather satellites, U.S. weather satellites. They are not classified. Unfortunately, they're from way out there. We need some low-level satellite photography, which I simply do not have. It would be interesting to look at it if I had it. Here's one with the
Hey,
explosive.
at least he
appreciate
admits
the
he didn't have
passion
good
on it.
pictures.
These things here blaze away sometimes for hours and hours and days at a time with those kinds of massive exhausts of heat and energy. I'll show you where they're pulling out the energy and what they're doing with it. That's about the plumes, just to show you that way back there from those exhaust plumes off that island, we had some airplanes flew through it, these little rumbles and cracks and pops and snaps off the coast there from Los Angeles. They had it for about a week off and on. I was there on a radio show delivering an address on free energy. Went on another show to try to explain what these things was, and I predicted, based on this, that they had finished adjusting the grid, and there would be a violent or drastic change in the weather within 48 hours. I went on the radio and I made that statement, and the radio announcer said, "You sound like a wacko," and cut me off. That's some of the mild things I've been called. It does not matter. I operate on the thing that if the experiments keep working and they contradict the theory, the
He's
true
getting
scientific method says you
zero
must
zero
change
pop
the
from the
theory,
crowd at all.
not insist that the
I
experiment
know,
stop if it continues
like-
to be replicated.
But I'll bet you afterwards
So
when he
what
walks
happened was,
backstage,
when they got
he's
it
gonna
adjusted,
go,
the highway
fucking
came out
nailed it.
very suddenly,
Nailed it.
unexpected, blew down all the trees on the boulevards. They had wrecks and everything. I was there during this process, and it was within 48 hours from that prediction. Sort of windstorms. Winds got very high in the Los Angeles area, and all the orange trees were laying over flat everywhere through the boulevards. It went on down in Texas, spawned tornadoes, and roared up the Adirondack chain, and then they bent the jet stream in the most anomalous fashion. They bent
That having
sucker
been
right
said, I'm
down
shitting on him, but
the
he's
United States,
clearly
all the
smarter
way
than I
down
am.
to the bottom,
Let's see.
and turned it, and went across the bottom,
Ooh.
skimming across just above the bottom of Texas, and then rolled into
Here we
being
go.
free to move with this kind of weaponry, which I think you can begin to see the implications against tanks and anything else electronically controlled.
It's getting to the end.
Is the other two nations, not the United
See
States.
if they clap.
So for a period of time, one of my purposes has
Please
been
clap.
to warn the system a new kind of electromagnetics, a more extended electromagnetics, already exists in the textbooks and been there since 1921. With this kind of electromagnetics, we can achieve types of engineering we have only dreamed of in the past. And this time, it's not us that got the atomic bomb first. It's the other guy. Thank you for your attention.
Oh, there are people
Oh, there
there.
he goes. Got a bit of a pop. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, look, he's from Alabama. God damn it.
Oh, what a shocker.
Yeah, that's
Right
why they
down
were
that-
all, yeah, Huntsville. Yeah, they're up there at Rocket City. Yeah.
Yeah, he is a nuclear physicist or whatever he said. So they're seeding the weather, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. I just think all this stuff that goes on is just like, you ever just think it's just noise for the sake of being noise, Julio? Like,
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
like-
about blaming somebody else for something.
right. Like, or they trying to make themselves seem important for some reason. So they come up with this. Like, I mean,
Even
Al Gore lost the presidency, right? And then he became our fucking climate guy. That's the order that, right? He lost and then
yeah, after he invented the internet, didn't he do that too?
Yeah. No, he
Yeah,
done that
correctly.
yeah.
Inconvenient Truth film after he lost the
Yeah.
presidency.
But I think you're right, Dave. I think it's a need to feel important and a need to blame other people for things you can't have, whether it be immortality or an explanation as to why your house got crushed by a fire or a hurricane. You're always
Right.
going to blame somebody else. There's a column in life that people should put more things in called shit happens. Sometimes shit just happens. And you've got to put it in that column.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people tend to worry about shit they can't control.
Or we lost the election, it was clearly stolen. Like it's all that stuff. Blame somebody else for what didn't go well.
I see there's another
These are
person.
Cain's lineage, serpent seed,
Now we're talking.
post flood.
Oh, here we go.
The royals have an ancient tradition whereby they did not replicate their reptile form. I just wonder if the lizard god statue in this image is a break from that custom.
That's what I was wondering.
Me too.
And we are
Yeah.
here today thanks to a request by a viewer, King D. Brown, who said, do one following the serpent bloodlines. So
King.
I'm at your service.
All right.
Low Watermark would murder this person for the sound quality.
And this feature is a scriptural, apocryphal, genealogical, geographical, ethnological study of the root, branches, and fruit of Cain's lineage since the Great Deluge.
Oh no, it's Cain.
This means we will utilize a variety
The
of
Great
resources
Deluge.
and records,
I like
genes,
her.
it's Cain.
regions, and national relationships
Jim's
It's
favorite
Cain.
to,
to follow the serpent
I like
bloodlines
about the
where
Great Deluge.
Holy Scripture serves as foundation for fact.
Cocaine's a hell of a
The
drug.
reason for this presentation is to educate us about serpent bloodlines so we can better understand our place in Yahweh's creation and the plans set before us. This video is not intended for fostering ill will toward any person or people, but would instead encourage garnering love whenever someone
Would it?
offends us, so we can live
about that?
more toward
You
the
sure
purpose
about
we
that?
recall.
Huh? What?
Here's the basic outline we'll follow. 3 race identification methods for early modern
I
ethnicities,
know
but that-
one.
Jebuthite origin and 13 bloodline hypothesis,
Jaffa type.
maritime peoples, the
That
sea
sounds
people,
bigoted.
Yeah.
connection
Little
to
racist.
Khazars, Czars, and Caesars,
Khazars, I
To
like
the
that.
house
Smokers.
of Rothschild, the Ashkenazi,
Yeah,
and picture of the unholy
I
Roman
thought the
emperors.
Khazars were
Whoa.
the
First, I would like to show 3 ways to
I've
identify race.
read.
The top example demonstrates the race by race method. Wikipedia says this is the oldest method used by people, and it used 3 generalized groups.
Wait. Why is
What's the N stand
red
for?
said for H? Yellow is U, black M, white A, brown N. That's kind of
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, black should definitely be in.
And then
It's a
brown
He-Man.
should be like either H or M.
Yeah, where's the Khazars on this list?
You know, I mean,
Right.
yellow should be C and red should be I.
But it won't spell human then.
What?
What would it spell if it was correct? It's the ICN.
I think they all should have red should be prairie inward, yellow should be rice inward. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, snow ends or
yeah,
white.
snow ends. Yeah, you got it.
All right.
Derived from Noah's sons
What?
called the
Just trying to
Japhethite,
think of a-
the Semite, and the Hamite. Underneath
Huh?
these 3 names, I included the origin for each one. And many are familiar with the race identification by a color method that is shown in the center. And as far as I could gather, this method was not used until about the 18th century. And I noticed it only divides a very exaggerated range of Semitic colors at best.
Wait. So she's up here. It says race by race: Japhite, serpent seed, Semite, Adam seed, Hamite, Nephilim seed. So all the sons of Ham. Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't Ham? Wait a minute. Hold on. So Ham went
Hold
into
on.
Canaan, and all the descendants of Ham are Nephilim.
I'm an
Well,
enjoyer of him.
Is that why they have that extra bone and that twitch muscle?
Yeah.
Kick him in the shins when you.
Yeah, they do have a very long thigh bone.
All right.
You and Nephilim
I can
enjoy
go on about how inferior this technique is because none of the 5 colors describes any race of people, since the race's colors all vary through these and even wider color ranges, like greens, blues, and even grays.
What?
Not one color can adequately describe any race, ever.
Well,
The bottom method is race by
Well,
class,
easy there.
and I like to use this method, although I'm not sure if anybody else does. Regardless, I should mention that no method to identify race is perfect. For example, while we have 3 main races, there are many mixtures. The identification of
mixed
race by class is
Mixed
complicated by
races.
reptilian deceptions that use misinformation agents who pose as everything from exposers of corruption to homeless citizens. So
Oh.
regardless, it is best to view on the side of caution in regards race identification of individuals. And as we
don't
see in a
give us
moment,
your
groups of
DEI
people as well.
bullshit.
Oh, and this is the race class origin combination that I use most often to identify 3 general kinds of man: the Japhetite, who are serpent seed, that are the elite; the Semite, who are Adam seed, that are commoners; and the Hamite, who are Nephilim seed, that are alien or subterrestrial.
Ah.
Nice.
Wait, so the
Interesting.
serpents and the aliens are
And
different
now for
people.
insight into the
I
people
know,
groups
I'm
that
learning
came
a
from
lot.
Noah's sons. Wikipedia says, quote, "The first century
Oh,
Jewish Roman historian
Wikipedia.
Josephus, in Antiquities of the Jews, Book 1, Chapter 6, was the first known author who assigned known ethnicities to some of the names in Genesis chapter 10. His assignments became the basis for most later authors," unquote. So these are what we will look at to familiarize ourselves with names given Noah's sons' tribes. First, we look at the Semitic groups. So Shem's son Elam are the Elamites and Persians, Asher, the Assyrians, Arphaxad, the Chaldeans, Eber, the Hebrews, Aram, the Aramites or Syrians, Uz, the Tacconites, Gether, the
Nights.
Bactrians,
That's every
Taco nights.
Tuesday.
I had
Mesa,
tacos.
the Masonians,
Yeah, I had tacos
and Lud,
for
the
dinner,
Lydians.
and they
Yeah.
were pretty good.
Yeah.
was,
Did you get any Bactrians after that? Did you have to go to the bathroom? Were they some bacteria in them taco nights? Oh my god. This
I
sounds
made
like
I did go to the bathroom and I made a mess of them in the bathroom.
Oof.
See right here, Messians in the bathroom.
yeah. Nice.
And then I shut the Lydians on the toilet.
Aha. Pretty good.
Those damn Assyrians.
Also, we can go back in time and examine how the book of Jasher, chapter 10, describes where
Jesus
the
Christ,
children
I
of
have
men
this at
went and whom they
1.25
became right after the fall of the
I
Tower of
know you got to
Babel.
put her at 1.5.
It states of the Semites. And the sons of Shem were Elam, Asher, Arphaxad, Lud, and Aram. And they built themselves cities and called the names of their cities after their names. And Asher, son of Shem, and his children and household went forth at that time, a very large body of them. And they went to a distant land that they found. And they met with a very extensive valley in the land that they went to. And they built themselves 4 cities, and they called them after their own names and occurrences.
Nice.
All right.
All right.
And these are the names of the cities that the children of Asher built: Nineveh, Rezin, Calach, and Rehoboth. And the children of Asher dwell there unto this day. And the children of Aram also went and built themselves a city. And they called the name of the city Uz after their eldest brother, and they dwelt therein. That is the land of Uz to this day. And in the 2nd year after the tower, a man from the house of Asher, whose name was Bela, went from the land of Nineveh to sojourn with his household wherever he could find a place. And they came into opposite the cities of the plain against Sodom, and they dwelt there. And the man rose up and built there a small city.
I hope you guys realize that tomorrow there will be an AI video talking about serpent bloodlines.
and called its name Bela after
You
his
got the
name.
script.
Look, if I,
That is
I
the land of
don't,
Zohar
I
unto this
don't
day.
realize I'll be notified 3 different times.
And these are the families of the children of Shem, according to their language and cities, after they scattered upon the earth after the tower. And here
Wait.
are the ethnicities Josephus attributed to the
Wait,
Hamite.
after the towers fell, so after 9/11, all these people went scattering?
Yeah, and the Khazars were dancing over in New Jersey. The
Motherfucker.
dancing Khazars. Fucking Julio's not
Kazakhstan?
at it. Yeah.
Cush, the Ethiopians,
Julio
Sheba
would've
or
loved
Sheba,
that.
the
He would've
Sabians,
died.
Hibila, the Ibilians that are now called Gutuli, Sabta, the Sabbathans now called Astaborans,
I never heard any of this shit.
Saptica, the
Have you ever heard
Sabbathans,
any of this, Jim?
Rama,
Well, I've heard of the
Ramians,
Canaanites,
Dedan, the
I've
Judeans,
heard of the Ethiopians.
Yeah.
Misraim,
Ethiopians,
Estrians,
the Hamites,
Put,
Arabites, the
the
Ammonites.
Libyans,
Yeah.
Oh, the
Canaan, the
Judeans.
Canaanites,
I get touch the Jews.
Sidon, the Sidonites, Amathus, the Hamatites,
I've kind of lost the
Rudius,
plot.
the
What's he trying to
Arvadites,
get at?
and Arucus, the Archites.
He just wants to read a
Record
bunch of
goes
different
on to
races,
note,
I
quote,
guess.
That's
For
what
the
it seems
seven
like.
other sons of Canaan,
I think this is a
Shedius,
woman, actually.
Yeah,
Jebusus,
this is a woman.
Amorius,
It's clearly an old
Ugesis,
woman.
Udius, Cineas,
Oh,
and
it is?
Severius.
Yeah.
We have nothing in the sacred books but their
Are
names,
you sure?
for the Hebrews
Yeah,
overthrew
it
their
sounds like
sins,
an old,
unquote.
sounds like an old smoker.
In other words,
woman.
in Joshua's day, as recorded in the Old Testament, Josephus noted
Sounds
that
like
the 12
Andrew
tribes of
a little
Jacob
bit.
slaughtered
Sounds
the
like crazy
Jebusite, the
27-year-old
Jebusite, the
nerd that
Amorite,
plays
the
World of
Girgashite, and the
Warcraft.
Samorite tribes with a couple others. And that occurred in a struggle over territory.
This
which
is definitely a
crippled
lesbian
Egypt.
woman.
All right.
I think
Plus,
she's
here's
I
what it
think
says
she's
regarding Hamites in the book of
I
Joshua,
think she's a
chapter 10.
coal burner.
And the children of Ham were Cush,
You think
Mitzrayim,
so?
Put,
Oh
and
yeah.
Canaan,
It's-
according to their generations and
Then
cities.
you notice in the beginning
All these went
of the video, she said called that guy a king, whatever. his
Yeah.
name was.
King D. Brown. Yeah,
King D.
I did
Brown.
notice that. That was
She
odd.
did do that.
I
didn't she?
call nothing Brown King personally, but hey, that's just me.
And that's why you refer to Ruby as king.
Yeah, I call him Ruby
and built themselves
Queen.
cities as they found fit places for them. And they called their cities after the names of their fathers, Cush, Mitzrayim, Put, and Canaan. And the children of Mitzrayim are the Ludim, the Anamim, the Lehabim, the Noctikim, the Pathrazim, the Kaslukim, and the Capturim.
The
Seven
Hey,
families.
just
Tuas.
making shit
All
up.
these dwell by the river Sihar, by the brook of Egypt, and they built themselves cities and called them after their own names. And the children of Pathros and Kalok intermarried together. And from them went forth the Paleshtim, the Asathim, the Gerarim, the Githim, and the Echonim, in all 5 families. These also built themselves.
Head of the
So she's
phagocytes.
saying, so this person is saying that the Ethiopians, all of these people are the serpent bloodlines.
I'm
I think he
assuming.
needs more slides. I'm a little.
Yeah,
don't
I
know,
need. Yeah.
Judeans? Who would that be? Judeans?
That's what I said.
Judeans.
Jews. Yeah.
He went from point A to
cities,
point
and they
C.
called their cities after the names of their
B.
fathers unto this day.
Eric the Great. I don't pay a lot of attention to northern.
And the children of Canaan also built themselves cities.
So, thanks,
And they called their
thanks
cities
for that,
after their names, 11
revolution.
cities and others without number. And 4 men from the family of Ham went to the land of the plain. These are the names of the 4 men: Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, and Deboim. And these men built themselves 4 cities in the land of the plain, and they called the names of the cities after their own names. And they and their
Doug,
children and all belonging to
Steve,
them dwelt in those
Timothy.
cities. And they were fruitful and multiplied greatly and dwelt peaceably, which he built Seir, according to his name, that is the land of Seir unto this day. These are the families of the children of Ham, according to their languages and cities, when they were scattered to their countries after the tower.
Yeah, you missed my dancing Ashkenazi.
And
or
in the early modern
Khazars joke
ethnicity,
earlier.
Josephus equated Gomer to the Galatians
Well,
of
I
Gaul,
can't hear anybody over this shit.
Ashkenaz
So
to the Virginians,
Well, you went muted and
Rephath
then
to
came
the
back. But
Babylonians,
when you were
Oh,
muted,
Narma
you missed my
to the
dancing
Phrygians,
Khazars joke.
Magog to the Scythians.
I'll
Yeah,
watch
I'm
the stream
confused
tomorrow and I'll
because-
make sure to.
I'm confused because, like, basically, she's saying basically, if you look at this, is people from all over the world. You got the Galatians, which is Gaul, the Romans take Gaul, and then you got the Ashkenaz.
Yeah.
We know who those are. All
My
right.
ex-wife.
The Scythians are the Goths, the Grecians,
Yeah.
the Elysians, which is that's like I think Turkish area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People of Taurus, the Cilicians, Cyprus, Iberian Peninsula is Spain. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, what the fuck?
The
Can't
Ends
all
that are
be
called
fucking
Goths.
lizard people.
Medai to the Medes,
Well,
Javon to the Grecians, Alyssa to the Elysians or
what the
Aeolians,
fuck, lady? How fast do I have
Tarshish,
to
the
speed this
Cilicians
up?
and people of Tarsus, Kittim,
Oh my
the
God, you're
people
at
of Cyprus,
1.5.
Tubal, the Iberians, later called Spaniard,
I mean, at some point, if
Phoenicia,
it's
the
not
Macedonians,
interesting
the
enough to
Thracians,
watch in
Tiras, the
one,
Thracians.
then it's probably not
Further,
interesting enough to
Wikipedia's
watch in
8th
two
century author
times.
James Gatterer explained in his famous
I mean,
text, which they built themselves cities. And they called their cities after their own.
Hey,
Well
there's some
intended
content to
Shem
share
and
with you.
Canaan
Let's
be
get
his
this
servant.
shit over with as fast
So
as
Noah blessed
possible.
all
All right.
references, and these are the names of all their cities according to their families, which they built in those days after the tower. He also declared, "Blessed drunk," and knew what his youngest son Ham had done when he stated, "Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servant shall he be to his brothers." He also declared, "Blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem. May Canaan be the servant of Shem. May God expand the territory of Japheth. May he dwell in the tents of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant." So Noah blessed all of his sons, but at this point in these passages, he first cursed Ham's descendants, the Nephilim. Next, he blessed the humans and made giants their servants. And as a side note, I heard aliens have an instruction manual about how to serve humans. And finally, Noah blessed serpent seed with world rulership and neatly placed them over positions of power with their father Lucifer.
I think humans should be served with
The bearer of dark
corn
light.
on the cob. Personally,
Oh.
that's just me.
So he's saying that Lucifer is in charge of all of.
This is a general outline of Mosaic population studies from
Ah.
Wikipedia that tells about the spread of the tribes from Noah's sons, and it makes a couple of interesting statements. The first is part of the introduction that states, quote, "It is not to be forgotten what Genesis 9, chapter 9, verses 25 to 27 states, that the Japhethites, as their name indicates, were successfully spread by Noah as a result of their victories, that they also have sides in Semitic countries, and that the Canaanites, like the Semites, would be subservient. The ancient and modern stories clearly show how this has been literally fulfilled," unquote. And the final statement in the document reads, quote, "Over time and in part even do we find matrilineal records and usually." And this chart shows Japheth with his are Ashkenaz and sons, Bechal, Sardana, and Anak. Hebrew Nations at Bridham website says, quote, "Ancient Rome played an important role in early European history. It still does. The ruling classes of Europe were raised until recently reading Latin
take.
literature. The early Republic of Rome was replaced by the Roman Empire. The first emperor was Julius Caesar. In his honor, all future emperors were."
Huh.
Huh?
This
What?
seems like a stretch.
Yeah, that's you
Wow.
got right to it.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, I wonder if they're going to bring up how many ovens they had.
Nah,
At least
there's
6,000
not
running
enough.
24 hours a day.
Were also known as Caesar. The terms Kaiser from Germany and Tsar from Russia
That's Jim's
also derived
math.
from the name Caesar, unquote. Yes, these are real
Cynic,
Nazis,
you're
not the
fucking
acronym,
lightning
but a
quick
royal
tonight.
bloodline called the Ashkenazi Jews. These
The
include
zingers.
Hitler and Trump. We should
Wait, what?
make a quick comparison between
Hold
these
on.
serpents and
Cynics
humans.
say.
Yes, these are real Nazis, not the acronym,
said-
but a royal
Wait.
bloodline called the Ashkenazi Jews. These include
Somebody
leaders such as Hitler
said,
and
"I
Trump.
wonder how many
Hold on,
ovens
go
they
back.
had,"
back.
and I
Russia.
said, "Not enough."
Oh.
All right, listen to what this person says. Okay.
Okay.
Listen. Pay attention. Let me turn the volume up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right.
Right. Listen.
Also derived from the name Caesar, unquote. Yes, these are real Nazis, not the acronym, but a royal bloodline called the Ashkenazi Jews. These include leaders such as Hitler and Trump. We should take a look.
Whoa!
Stop. Wait.
Whoa! Pause this shit. No, sir. No fucking sir. No, sir. I will not. No.
Did he just say Ashkenazi Jews are the real Nazis? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, that's what they said.
And
Right.
said
And
that
then
Hitler was one of them.
Hitler was a real Nazi Jew, according to this person.
And so was Trump.
Yeah, so is Trump.
So this video was to call Hitler not Trump a Nazi? Is that what this is about?
I don't know.
Holy shit. How did
Bizarre.
fucking Trump get into this conversation?
Oh, here we go. These are says Serpent
Oppenheimer.
Bloodlines, Astor, Bundy, Collins, DuPont, Freeman, Kennedy, Morgan, Oppenheimer, Rockefeller.
These are the royal
Preston.
families.
Yeah. 13 Ashkenazi royal families.
Chris says Trump does have a nose.
Well, could be a crypto.
Yeah, that's why I don't invest in cryptocurrency. Personally.
My question is,
Right.
has the Khazars controlled empire
It's in the
finances,
name.
monetary and
It's in
economic
the name.
system since the Caesars?
Ugh.
Also, by most estimates, about 85% of Jews are Ashkenazi or Khazars, and oftentimes commoners admire members of the royal families. Occasionally, for whatever deep-seated insecurities, humans emulate rulers, adopt their surnames, simulate their appearance, and more. It is for these types of reasons the author made a request to the viewers of the article that lists these most influential Rothschild family names, where he urges, quote, please therefore do not automatically assume someone you see with the name Rothschild or any of the names listed above are part of the Rothschild criminal network. Furthermore, and most importantly, the majority of Ashkenazi Jews are innocent and not part of this network, unquote.
All right.
Okie doke.
So by Julius Caesar's death in 44 BC, the empire-controlled regions of Germany and North dedicated a new Rome on the site. 17 Eastern empires of Rome family tree chart the entire world for over of the Western, or like this, where each section is a continuation more than a complete
This
break,
is
like the
fucking
bottom leg
ridiculous.
that
It is.
widely buried Eastern and Roman cultures.
I thought they
The
were
lines
gonna-
accomplished one world government. The infiltration of the new faith and their ability to manipulate their captive commoners made the Pope the most powerful person in the world. As we see in the image, the head of one of the most powerful families on the plane is below the Pope. So past emperors were known to find this position distasteful. In Lithuania, Hungary, Bohemia, stone being cut out of the mountain without hands that shattered iron, bronze, clay, silver, and gold.
Okay. Well, this was insane.
I mean,
Yeah.
yes.
Let me read something real quick. Everything's a conspiracy theory, including what merging on the freeway means and if the placenta is for baby or science. So I just figured I would. After you said that was insane, I figured I would just read that comment.
That's pretty. Yeah. You topped it, Siddick. I think the kid that did, or whatever, the lesbian.
In U.S.
or
history,
like
hand tattoos.
every single president in U.S. history is related to one king.
What?
Talking about? No.
Wow.
Yes.
You're being serious?
Dead serious. So, this is where it gets crazy. This man, his name is Harold Brooks Baker. He was a lawyer and a Harvard graduate. He did all this this study on U.S. presidents and royal lineage. Like his obsession was like the royals, like the monarchy.
Yeah, I lost interest in this.
Yeah.
This guy did a study, and he says that all
the royals are from one person. One
They've been
bloodline?
saying that for decades now. Like they've been saying that Obama's related to the Bushes, and the Bushes are related.
Yeah, they
to,
were all saying everyone was related to King George, right?
Yeah, some shit like that. That's been going on for.
Oh, I
Since
guess
I was
Julio's
in my-
gonna leave.
Yeah. What?
At least it's better than the teeth.
It's so good. Oh man.
Oh boy. Were you on Jessica's show tonight?
Yeah, we were talking about the Switch too.
What about it? Did they announce it?
Yeah, they announced it. They just don't have a release date yet. So we were going over what it looks like and what our potential theories are going to be when it's supposed to come out this year, but I'm assuming late summer. He thinks Christmas.
Nah, I don't think it'll be Christmas either.
I think you want to try to get the kids that are out of school, right? And then you want to sell in Christmas also. You kind of want to double dip.
If you can,
yeah.
if they have enough on release, right?
Yeah.
Nintendo's notorious about. Well, they're all notorious about not making it.
And if they do it around Christmas and they run into that like scalper shit like Sony and Microsoft did, then they're fucked, right? They're gonna have some really pissed off customers. So I think summer release, so that way you can, go ahead and start getting the market out there, and then do some boxing.
The Anunnaki are a group of deities that appear in the
Every
mythology
time.
of the
Every
ancient
time.
Sumerians, also Akkadians, Assyrians, and Babylonians. Amazingly, they are also mentioned briefly in the Bible. The Anunnaki are a mysterious, legendary, otherworldly entity. There are many documented scriptures of them from our ancient past. We must give consideration to the facts being somewhat blurred by various abilities of translators and, of course, the passage of time. The most comprehensive and lengthy depictions can be found in the Sumerian tablets.
In old Sumer, there were tablets found, and on these tablets you see beings which in archaeology they called winged gods or winged geniuses.
Before we cover the Sumerian knowledge of these ancient gods, we can also consider the similarity of the recorded chapters in the Bible. Here, the race are mentioned in several verses and named as the Nephilim. Genesis 6:4 reads as follows.
The Nephilim were in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. The same were the mighty men that were of old, the men of renown.
And as the Bible says, they saw that the daughters of men were beauty, so they took them to wife. By the way, in sort of the Bible translation, they say, the fallen angels saw that the daughters of men were beauty, and they took them to wife. What is a fallen angel? They who descended. And not only in the Bible, you find this absolutely clear again in the book of Enoch. Enoch gives even the names of 36 of these extraterrestrial figures, which say, we want to go down there, we want to have sex, we want to do this, even if it's against what the Lord is the commander of the spaceship, says. And they had sex, and the result was some different creatures and giants and all these things.
In the Bible, this race of giants are called the Anakim. They are mentioned in the conquest of Canaan by the Israelites. According to the book of Numbers, Anak was a forefather of the Anakim. The Bible describes them as very tall descendants of the Nephilim, the daughters of men and sons of gods, and also fallen ones who existed before the deluge. The term Anunnaki has been translated in various forms and is the source of much controversy. Renowned author Zachariah Sitchin claims he has translated them as those from heaven came. Many scholars claim their interpretation is those of royal blood or those of princely offspring.
People, blue bloods?
I was just thinking the same thing. Like, what did she call them? Merovingians? I never heard of that word before.
Merovingians. It's the royals of France. It's, yeah, that's what's his face? The one guy who supposedly that you could if anyone that has European descent traces their lineage back, they're going to get to him. This guy, what the fuck was his name?
Yakub.
No, not Yakub.
Nailed it.
Charlemagne.
Oh, Charlemagne. Okay.
Charlemagne was the king of France.
The god. Yes. Charlemagne the god.
Yep.
Charlemagne the god. I will choke you to death in real life, Jim.
That's what he was called. Yeah.
No, he wasn't. No, he's making a joke, Dave. Don't let him get you with
true.
this.
I
But Charlemagne was the first emperor of France.
Yeah. But
he was their god. He created France. No, I'm kidding.
He created, well, it was called Francia.
It was called Francia.
A reptilian blue blood.
Why do these aliens have shit on their head?
I don't know. And why is it literally? She says literally a lot, Cynic.
Yeah, you
That's
don't like
twice
that word.
already. Yeah. Don't be saying literally. You ain't got no proof.
Fine.
The Sumerians were said to have learned astrology from the Anunnaki, and this afforded them an in-depth knowledge of our solar system. Ancient carvings in the stone tablets show the various planets, and most incredibly, they depicted the 10th planet. This planet actually orbits the sun every 3,600 Earth years, and in doing so, it comes fairly close to our Earth. Traveling on a huge elliptical orbit, this giant crusader loops into outer space, far out into our solar system, to eventually, after 3,600 years,
Crazy Cat / Cynic wrong. Oh man,
It is weird that Cynic and Crazy Cat are always here together.
Thank you for the 5, Kevin. And Theory Thursdays are hard, man. It's hard to find stuff that's really woo-woo all the time. We can't talk about fucking Bigfoot all the time.
Did you put Andrew on the board?
Hmm?
Did you put Andrew on the board, or who was it was supposed to go on the board today?
Moo Buckaroo.
Moo, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
hopefully he's here.
And then you'll put him on the board.
Yeah.
Buckaroo.
Yeah.
Moo Buckaroo.
Motherfucker.
You're welcome, Dave.
Circle
That's what
back.
Crazy Cat said.
When you consider our small moon, 1/6 of our planet's size, can affect our tides so easily, imagine what mayhem a huge, giant planet could cause should it manage to pass close to us. On the 30th of December in 1983, the Washington Post had a front-page headline that actually read, "A heavenly body as large as the giant planet Jupiter, and possibly so close to Earth that it would be part of this solar system, has been found in the direction of the constellation Orion by an orbiting telescope aboard the IRAS. So mysterious is the object that astronomers do not know what it is." NASA have also recently conceded that there could very well be a large hidden planet out there, purely due to the gravitational effects they've been observing in our solar system. We do know that recently our modern astronomers have detected a 10th planet larger than Pluto and nearly 4 times farther from the Sun as Pluto is today. Is this actually Nibiru? When we consider the question, why did they come, we need to revisit the first tablet of Lord Enki.
During that time and era, people didn't just carve these types of things into stone just for a hobby.
Did he just say these? Did he just say these types of tings into
He
stone?
said these types of tings.
Ting tang tong. Yeah.
He's gonna ask you about it though.
Why does he always show up?
Because you love him. He's
I
your favorite
did not
person
in any way,
on
shape,
the
or form think
planet.
he was going to be on this video.
The actual artifact itself is engraved in cuneiform text. And during that time and era, people didn't just carve these types of things into stone just for a hobby. It's real information, real data, and real history. Now, the actual artifact itself is located in the Ashmolean Museum in Oxford, England. And what's so incredible about it is that the
Did he just say an Ashmolean museum?
Some ting he said, I guess.
stone just for a hobby. It's real information, real data, and real history. Now, the actual artifact itself is located in the Ashmolean Museum in Oxford, England.
Ashmolean.
And what's so
Ashmolean.
incredible about it is that the kings list gives the reign of the kings in shars.
King.
Well, what is a shar? The Sumerians state that this shar is about 3,600 years. And for example, King Alalim actually ruled for 10 shars. So in human years, that would be 36,000 years.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
What'd you do?
What happened?
No, I was just saying they had these people out here picking cotton.
Oh yeah. That was some ting they did.
The idea is
Wait a minute. So they were growing rice in paddies in Eden?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. So like the oath that the mafia takes.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Find out how this guy has a light bulb head.
I've seen this guy in Ancient Aliens a bunch.
Now all those guys have light bulb heads.
Mm-hmm.
changed since the time of Sumer. And if we expand our consciousness a little bit and consider that the written history of Sumer.
The Anunnaki came to Earth, according to Sitchin's translations, 430 odd thousand years ago, looking for gold. And boy, did they find it.
Boy, did they find it.
He said 30,000 years ago?
No, 430,000
And
years
they were
ago.
mining gold on a level that we can't even begin to imagine. Enki, the Sumerian entity who was put in charge of the gold mining exercise in the southern hemisphere, in the Abzu, found gold, and that's where he established his gold mining empire. And the translations in the Sumerian tablets tell us over and over and over again that the Anunnaki came here looking for gold. They found it in spectacular amounts, but they needed help to get it out of the ground. And they decided to clone a species that could do the work, to go into the ground and extract the ore and get the gold out of the ground. The DNA, genetic material from Homo erectus was taken, and it was blended with the Anunnaki DNA. And there's some amazing references in the Sumerian translations that refer to Southern Africa and the Abzu that he refers to, where the gold was found.
Right.
And that's why they settled there, and he established the gold mining headquarters there, and that's where the species was cloned.
Okay. So this was their Lord of the Rings for the kids, Cynic. Oh, Cynic left? Where'd he go?
I don't know.
What'd he do? Oh, okay. He had an important call come in. Okay. See you, buddy. Good to see you, Cynic. Oh, we can hear this for a few minutes. Let's hear Billy Carson's response.
A casual conversation on spirituality, and I wasn't
debate.
really even fully in my right mind. I've just almost died a few days before going to his house, literally.
Oh, get out. I'm done. I'm out. Hey, you have fun with this. I'm out.
And so he took advantage of that. I'm on their tongue and their lips every minute of the day.
Woo.
When they go to sleep, they dream about me. When they wake up, the first thing they do before they kiss their wife or their boyfriend,
come on,
they
Billy.
talk about me. They post me and call my name 24 hours a day.
Oh,
nonstop.
Come on, Billy.
They're absolutely infatuated with me. We're gonna attack Billy Carson. We must do everything we possibly can, including making fake